big shift, including the referees, who I think must be commended, A, for their workload, and B, for their professionalism.
Yeah, and you wonder about this lag, not only how Fedor finished breaking the balls in that last match, or the latter half of that last match, and also how Carlo started, so the lag could be huge, even though it is a lengthy race.
Fedor Gorst to break.
Will the famed Gorst break work?
A little bit like the start of the semi-final, he finds both jaws on the side pocket, and it's a dry break.
Yeah, and I tell you, he started a lot of matches like that, to where the break wasn't as good as he wants, and he just seems to find it at the right moments. But for Carlo to get it to the table quickly, even though it's not an offensive shot, I think that's could be a huge moment. Not sure really what he has here. He's got, I think, the entire ball, so maybe he brings the one down by the purple 5. Try and spread the cue ball over behind the 7, maybe.
Push out call.
Oh, he doesn't have the entire ball. He's definitely got some of it.
Fedor, it's your choice.
There's the push. Fedor Gorst will have the option. He can shoot this shot or he can hand it back.
Yeah, not a whole lot on offer here, but the one that is can be pretty good, just kind of banking the one down towards this group on the right side and
please play again.
float behind the 7. It's a nervy shot to start a final or any match. You wouldn't want to burn your extension on this shot, especially after you're the one who made the push out. Yeah, it's going to be a little light, I think. Just a little bit. Not bad though, really, right?
Yeah, you know how difficult them shots are, Jeremy, when you're just trying to split the balls either side and you've only got one ball as a blocker. All in all, it's not too bad.
Yeah, and I like that he didn't burn the extension. I really do.
It's a little light. We've seen that a few times in the semi-finals, didn't we? Just not quite getting the cue ball where he wanted.
Yeah, I saw that a handful of times, and we'll see how that plays on. I think he'll recognize it, though. Didn't leave anything easy, but did leave options. Maybe just bank the one straight back down and try and go by the pink to the bottom rail. Maybe float behind the 3.
Extension call.
Can he get to the edge of this ball? I think he can. I wonder if he may run the cue ball a little bit. I was thinking he may do something like that. Just felt like you could put more of a stroke on the ball, and no matter what the outcome, you're probably not going to leave a shot.
When it comes to tactics, the Filipinos are so shrewd, but then again, that also applies to Gorst. When an immovable object meets an irresistible force and all that kind of stuff, I think predictions are so tough.
Yeah, good safeties bring opportunities, and Carlo's got a little one here. It's not easy getting on the blue 2.
Yeah, I've always felt that Carlo, when it's not natural position, he's one of the best at being able to manufacture with spin and use the rails, kill the cue ball. Can he get in that little gap up table to get between the 4 and 5 and just take the long shot on the 2? That would do it. Yeah, you just inside to open it up. He's a little light because he caught the one a little heavy to the pocket. Still, though, the effort with the top spin to start the match, a little inside spin with it, you got to feel okay about it, how he hit it.
A couple of options, Jeremy. He could be very attacking and go for the bank. He can also run the cue ball up towards the green again.
I like the bank.
So does Biado. So does Biado, but he's missed it and he's left it over the pocket. I think Gorch can play a little swerve into the long rail.
And I think he missed the bank just because he wanted to ease the cue ball a little bit, trying to hold position. Thought he might draw into the purple and kind of pop it in and just take the cut on the 3. This isn't an easy swerve, by the way. Hit it nice.
Yeah, the spin he puts on that swerve widened the angle, and that's why he's got shape. That's the junior champion, Mr. Januatu.
Yes, went in the final. He's from Indonesia. Brilliant player, brilliant young player. Like so many are.
Could have used a little more on that. That way he could fall easily straight in on the purple to go upstairs for the green 6. Thinks it's a little thin to kill the ball.
He may come back across just to miss the 8.
You ever draw into the purple? Okay, he's gonna take this. Now he'll dig to come 2 rails between the 7-9. I think anyways.
Extension called.
Pretty smart shot right there.
Yeah, nicely done, well judged. That needs to go. He was playing for the same pocket as the green 6.
Yeah, he may have to draw this with a little left spin and wrap the corner, coming 3 cushions towards the 8. I don't know if he can get to the top rail with a high ball.
One thing that's always good with Fedor Gorst is time management. He doesn't rush even with the restriction of the 30 seconds. Often plays a shot as the beeps are beginning. Missed a point blank 9-ball a couple of matches ago, but they are once in a blue moon, and so it is the defending champion who gets off to the superior start. It was all about that misjudged bank on the 2-ball from Carlo Biado. It's been an unbeaten week for Fedor Gorst. He went 2-0 behind in his first match to young American Sam Henderson, but he came through that 9-3 then beat Francesco Candela, and this is his record in single elimination. It looked at one point as though we might see a blockbuster match in the last 32 between Gorch and Joshua Filler, but that was not possible because Max Lechner overcame Filler, and then Gorch beat Max 11-4. He won the first 5 racks against Mario He, winning 11-5 in the end, 11-4 in the quarterfinals against Jeffrey Rodder, and then this afternoon, Claudio Cacci. He will have plenty of regrets. As for Carlo Biado, well, he beat Lee Van Corteza, a wily Filipino veteran, in winners qualification, and
Thank you, rack
in
2.
single elimination
Fedor
it's
Gorst
been
break.
one battle
Winning
after
one
the
rack,
next
isn't it?
until this afternoon, when against Bernie Regulario he was dominant.
There it is. That's the break he's looking for. And he can make the 2 into the side. If he goes in the upper right corner, I think that's the shot he will play, just because he's got to get on the red 3.
Yeah, it looks pretty natural, and the thing is, you can really evaluate, right, from getting behind it. If you get a little off angle, the safety should be okay, or really a viable option.
That'll do nicely. He's got a shot at this ball. Got a bit of an angle.
Yeah, I think he might pinch it back for the same corner again.
Yeah, all 3 balls are going to be going in the same pocket. The brown 7 is covered, but because of that green ball, that makes life a little easier getting on the brown 7.
Yeah, again, another situation.
Extension cool.
He's got to get there first, as he should, but another situation you can always evaluate. If you don't like it, it should be a jam-up safety on the brown 7.
Again, refusing to be rushed, as I say, not perturbed about playing when the beeps are going. It is a 30-second shot clock, of course, with a 30-second extension, 1 allowed per player per rack.
Now, Carl, you like trying to stay a hair above it, or do you like trying to fall below? Because a hair above, you can still play short side on the 7 for the upper right, and still break it out if you get nice.
Yeah, where's the cue
He's going to
ball
get
finish?
perfect. Yeah, sorry, Carl.
Yeah, there you see the angle he's got. Can still go wrong though. Whenever you're bumping balls out, you're never guaranteed.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a lot of speed.
Yeah, that was one way to guarantee nothing silly happening with the 8 ball.
Well, so far a typical Gorch rack, this. Well planned, well executed.
Yeah, when you go back to rack number 1, listen, we understand why Biado went for the bank. Can't blame him, but if you're going to go for it, he's got to go, and he didn't go. He left it over the pocket. Yeah, Fedor's lost the cue ball a little here, but he's just a couple of balls away from making that miss bank a 2-rack difference with the break.
Yeah, a little bit of a tester here just because of the situation, and early in the match. But I think if you're Carlo and you're on the fence, I think you got to go for some of those shots and really try to put some racks together.
I've seen so many giants of cue sports over the years, like Fedor Gorst, and when they have the bit between their teeth, when they are in big events, big matches, there's a sense of inevitability.
Fedor Gorst.
2-0 it is, break and run out from the main man. If he wins tonight, he emulates Earl Strickland in 2 regards. He'll join Strickland as the second 3-time winner of this championship, and join Strickland as the only other player to successfully defend the title. This is what's at stake financially. A prize pool of $1 million US. 100,000 goes to the runner-up, and that will help whoever in terms of qualification for Mosconi Cup, Reyes Cup. The winner, 250,000. The same amount that Gorst banked last year. He'll be so far clear at the top of the rankings, Carl, if he wins this. Well, the others won't be anywhere in sight. They will have been lapped a few times over.
Yeah, it'll take him a couple of years before we will see a new world number 1. And listen, if you win back-to-back world titles, you deserve it.
The one rocketed in. Look at that 2-ball sitting pretty.
Yeah, the red 3 doesn't look to be sitting pretty though, so he's got a bit of work to do. Maybe we'll get a better look in a moment.
Yeah, I think he may have fell on the perfect angle to maybe draw short side, not something you want to gamble too much. Maybe he's a little too heavy on the angle. Looks pretty safe to draw towards the 3 like he's looking at right there. Very hard to get snookered. Maybe you bump it. Of course, the safety option's always there. Doesn't want to play the triple combination on the 3, 5, 6. I know that. So he may get into this a bit.
See the spin at the last minute, just pulled the cue ball down towards the green. He's hooked behind the purple 5. He's not messing around.
Extension
He's going for the short cue. He's trying to pop this into the side pocket.
Yeah, and he kind of pured it, right? The 2-ball really got a lot more draw, I think, than he anticipated from that angle. I like him trying to get that position, though, instead of just laying up for the safety. What do you say here? 50% probably with this guy on the side. This is not easy, and that's a pretty big number, really.
When he comes to jumping, Fedor Gorst is simply magical. Dynamite.
Yeah, he just makes so many of them, unlike any other player, really. I mean, that was not an easy jump shot. It was awkward bridging. He's playing it into a side pocket. He was close to the purple. What a shot. he's feeling good. You can see it. It's a different player from his semi-final. Just took the extension off the back of his cue. He likes to keep it on for certain shots, and then he puts it in his pocket when he feels like he doesn't need it.
Little unlucky. Pretty smart shot, really, to bring the cue ball back. He hit it well, fell little on the 50. So not only a little tougher make here on the 5, but it's not going to get premium on the 7 to get back down for the 8.
Yeah, he drew the cue ball back because he knew the purple were going to fly around the table.
The first sign of weakness. It wasn't easy. Biado coming back to the table, relieved to do so.
Yeah, and Carlo's got to take this chance. It's a little bit like what Jeremy was saying. He's still got the same issue. He's got to get on this brown 7 good. That makes life easier, getting on the 8 ball.
Yeah, he's going to have a stretch. Not near the height of his opponent, Fedor Gorst. He's got to get some power with the draw stroke.
Extension call.
Put a little speed on this to try and get a little more bounce off that rail as he draws the cue ball back. So be a little careful that lower left. You can sometimes amazingly get it all the way over.
Applause from this large crowd. They know that the flick of the 9, just what the doctor ordered.
Ooh, did not want the bump, and now he's put himself in a bit of trouble here. This is thin. Again, he's going to be stretching over the table, and this is a shot that we do see the pros miss from time to time.
Scrambled in, and the undercut 5 ball from Fedor Gorst costs him the rack. Yes, he still leads, but now only by 2 racks to 1. Early exchanges in the books. That was the mistake from Fedor Gorst that stopped him in his tracks. It was looking like 3-0, but Carlo Biado just about squeezed the 9 ball in after a poor positional shot from 8 to 9. And now, of course, he breaks off in rack 4.
Thank you, rack 4. Carlo Biado break, trading 2 racks to 1.
That's what we was paying a close eye to. We wanted to see what was going to happen on the Biado break, and he's found the yellow 1 ball straight away.
Yeah, he's knocked the 2 in as well. And what I like is, of course, he doesn't have the power into the break, but the timing's really good. That's why you see such good spreads, even though it doesn't have quite as much speed.
see the cue ball arcing below the 9 ball.
He's got a choice here, you know. In the club, when you're practicing, you just spin 2 rails out, but he's got options to stay underneath. You may stun above, actually.
Yeah, he's come round the back of it and it's just popped out enough.
Yeah, nothing wrong. He's going to get on the green, but nothing wrong with short side on the brown 7. So I'd say just don't even get any kind of missable ball on the 6, right? Don't get thin, not too much angle from behind. You can always go forward. Tell you, you know the nerves are going, but he's not showing it. Really sweet with the stroke every time. No body movement.
Carlo Biado wins the 4th round.
That is a dream rack for anyone to win in a world final. It was the old 1-2 punch to start, and then from there on in, Carlo Biado made it look as routine as any rack can be under this kind of pressure. Now, back in 2021, Biado stood up to the pressure and won the US Open, beating Gorch in the final 13-8. The defending champion is, guess who, Fedor Gorst, and he will look to keep the trophy in the Harrah's Resort in Atlantic City on the New Jersey shoreline, August 18 to 23. First prize there, $100,000 US, a record for that event which Jeremy Jones has won. You might have come close, Carl. Yes?
And Carl, world 8-ball champion, finished runner-up in the World 9-ball championships, runner-up in the US Open. He's been in these situations, Carl. It's
Didn't lose in the final of the World 9-ball, 2 semis.
oh, 2 semis, excuse me, yeah.
Carlo Biado's break.
Well,
Scores are tied.
still
4-2 ranks.
big
4-0
results.
up in both semis. Still haunts me.
Yeah, I get it. I've lost one of those big ones before myself, but yeah, the US Open's my favorite, but of course, being from there and
Oh, he's got the break dialed down. The 9's going close, but it's not going to go.
Well, it seems to my untrained eye that this table is breaking nicely.
well, we got a great referee at doing his job. Of course, that racking in, most of the referees do a really good job. But every now and again, we get one that looks a little different. But also, I think these guys are dialed in with the break, which is showing us a lot. He's one of my favorite to see with these shots with a little distance when he's got to work the ball. When he was looking at a 4-ball that is in an ugly position, it doesn't appear it probably slides by the 5, and you can't even make it flicking the 5. So if he can get to the center of the table, you may see him be somewhat aggressive coming off the red 3, going at the pink.
Needs to go, didn't quite get into the cue ball.
Now, Carl, do you have any, kind of plan going into this longer race at all? Do you say to yourself, do I want to just grind every game, or do you just stick to what type of player you are to get things going? I was thinking he might bank at this. I was thinking he might do this.
Wow, that was close, wasn't it? You could see the plan. Well, I think we know Biado's plan. Never mind mine. He's going for his shots. He's trying to make it happen. You can't blame him. That's what he's good at. He's good at all these little finicky shots.
Wants that to get away a little bit. Of course, you can't always worry about the incredible jumping skills of Fedor Gorst. That'll make you play the shot a little oddly. You just got to force him to make it.
Yeah, he's brought
Extension
a few cues with him here at the bottom end of the table. Jump cues, that is. He's got a shorter one, a longer one. He's having a good look at this. He fancies the
Extension,
job.
please.
Yeah, this one, you're always nice when you can use the rail to get your bridge hand in position on these jump shots. I think it's just the 6, maybe a sliver of the 8 to go over.
Doesn't make everyone. As Jeremy said, you've got to just play the game. You've got to play the shots, and he's had worse results.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of this ball he can get at. This could be really delicate. Now, if he could shoot the 4 and kind of bank it away 2 rails and draw back to the bottom rail as the 2 escapes up table, that may be an option. Otherwise, if he's got to edge this somehow, very tricky.
Extension, cool.
Is he cutting this between the 6 and 8 to the bottom rail and going back up table? I think that's the play.
Yeah, well called, well spotted, and well played.
What's happening right now underlines just how important it is to eradicate mistakes. It was just a slight undercut on that 5 ball in the 3rd rack when Gorch was in command, it seemed. He's in command no longer.
He's a very nasty.
Yeah, just trying to leave as long as he can, get the cue ball near the rail, and you got to feel good about the hit because that shot's going to come up again, you figure, in this race to 15.
Yeah, he's going to make him pot a ball here. A little kind of thin one, where he knows if he misses it, he's going to leave it on for his opponent. So this has got to go in. This may tell us a little story as well. If he knocks it in, it's going to make him feel good. Yeah, it didn't go in clean, but
Sorry.
he played it that way.
Yeah, the lighter speed opened up the pocket a little bit, and I don't know about you guys. I felt like these guys were going to play really well, and this is where you really see the 9-ball pull we all want to see, where both of them are executing, doing the right things, and just who's going to come with the big shot first.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're playing for a massive difference in prize money, but they're both in the final. You know, it's a good payday in terms of pool, so that helps. Maybe it's just a case of they can relax a little bit more now.
They are the best finals in Q Sports, the ones where quality and drama coexist.
And he wants to play the 9 in the lower right. Doesn't want to have to shoot the 9 past those 2 knuckles on the right middle side pocket. So he should open up the cue ball with a hair right spin here.
Carlo Biado wins the 5th rack.
It is 3 on the spin for Carlo Biado. From 2-0 down, he suddenly leads 3-2. What a fierce competitor he is.
Yeah, he's shown us why he's a former world champion. Why he's a real threat in this final for Fedor Gorst.
Yeah, he's won this before, of course, when he prevailed in 2017. It wasn't anywhere near the prize money it is now. It wasn't anywhere near the profile it is now. He beat his fellow countryman Roland Garcia 13-5 in the final. The following year, we wondered, could he possibly emulate Earl Strickland by retaining the title? He did not, but he came very close. He lost 13-10 to one of the most dynamic players Poole has ever seen, Joshua Filler.
Yeah, and I think about this match, and, you know, extended races, of course, this is a long race, but you've got to give the breaking edge to Fedor overall. How could you not? Carlo can keep up with the break. It's not as impressive.
Break. Winning
Give
3
a hair
racks.
of a tactical edge to Carlo, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. Not saying Fedor's bad in the safety
course,
department,
right,
of
of
course,
course,
but
yeah.
just, you know, the Filipinos are a little bit more inventive, but, you know, you're talking about the break, the way he started, I'm not so sure about that either. He's hitting it sweet.
Yeah, he's hitting it real sweet. I'm just saying it's a little different type of break that, you know, sometimes you got to really rely on that one.
Yeah, it reminds me of FSR's break when he went on his little rampage and that sort of drawing it under the 9 ball. Now he's got a similar shot as Fedor plays. He's got to kind of swerve it around the red 3, rail first.
Yeah, can he hit it thick enough to go underneath the 7 or thin enough to go between the 7-9? I like the thicker side of it. I think that's the better option. Just get to the left to get any kind of look on the 3. Oh, he tried to go on the thinner side.
All in.
What a huge moment this could be.
Can you start the clock?
Yeah, that would disappoint him. He'd have fancied them. You know, make sure you hit the ball, make sure he disappears, and just take a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, you could see him kind of looking at the 7 as a big ball in the way of the path, and maybe tried to get a little more out of that shot than we thought he should. But of course, when you're hitting the ball nice, sometimes that happens.
It's a little light, Jeremy.
Yeah, because now, I mean, he's going to stun 2 rails, I believe, to the left of the 5 and come directly at the 4, trying to fall pretty straight. If he has to go between the 5-8, he may have a little issue getting back on the 5, depending on how he falls on the pink. Okay, so he's going between the 5-8.
Situations where the balls are clearly open, but there's a lot of white ball maneuverability required.
I don't know. Got a little more stun on that than the follow. I thought he'd come up the left.
Yeah, I thought that was the plan. Maybe he just hit the cue ball wrong on delivery.
Yeah, well, it's easy to get a little amped and it becomes more of a stun than a follow. He's going to try and pull him behind the 8 ball as the purple comes down the table. I don't know if this is any good either.
Now then.
Yeah, and he kind of rushed it, right? We see him get to the beeps so often. And that one there, kind of let get away. Huge shot here early.
3 safety errors already, and you can see that Gorch on that particular shot was exasperated, couldn't hide it.
Yeah, this has been the difference for me. Obviously, Fedor has won a lot of matches
Extension call.
arena. But players, top players, have struggled to beat him. They've struggled with the task in hand. This is a big, big shot here on the purple 5 for Biado.
Wow, huge shot. I don't know if I've ever seen him stay down on the ball that long.
Yeah, maybe he knew how important a moment it was. It's alright winning racks where you have first opportunity, but stealing a rack like this from the mistake where you feel like your opponent's going to clear up, these are the ones that count. Little straight here, I think.
Yeah, and that he can handle angle on the 8 though, so he can draw back from behind. But that in-between kind of stroke on the 5 from distance, they may serve him well, settling him moving forward in this match.
He's feeling good. He's played it with a little bit of spin to come out for the 8. Yeah, just make sure you don't be doing anything silly with the awkward bridge and the stretch across the table. He's looking good, Phil. He's looking very good.
And everything turned with that missed 5 ball in the 3rd rack. Since then, Biado has been buzzing. It is 4 racks on the trot for the man they call the Black Tiger from the Philippines. And it means the defending champion, Fedor Gorst, is in a spot of early bother. What an intriguing match, and talking of that, the Reyes Cup will most certainly be intriguing this year. It's the 2nd edition. Last time around in Manila, Team Asia, helped by Carlo Biado, comprehensively defeated Europe. This time, Asia will take on the ultimate challenge. They will take on a team from the rest of the world, the best 5
Carlo Biado to break.
from outside Asia.
Leading 4 racks to 2.
Yeah, maybe I have a small part to play in that film, and we got absolutely drummed off Team Asia.
I wouldn't say a small part, Carl, I'd say a big part.
No, listen, for years, pool fans around the world have been desperate for Team Asia to, you know, represent in some sort of team match, and now it's happening. I think the correct decision has been made, and the rest of the world versus Asia, it will break. And again, 1 ball disappears. No easy shot on the blue 2, as in an attacking shot. Let's see what we've got.
Yeah, I think he'll drop him behind the 4-6, and this could be a devastating safety. It lays nice. Just float into that position. You can handle a hair of a bump. No, Fedor is forced to use the jump cue. And this is where he really separates himself with the jump cue, I think. I mean, all the other ones are obvious, I think, but from distance when he's close to a ball, because when you're close to the ball, you got to get it up quickly. So any miss hit, the cue ball will curve with so much distance between the cue ball and the object ball. So the accurate strike on the white is so important.
Good hit. Wasn't far away from potting the red 3.
Yeah, so much control from distance going quickly over that pink. Now this is the type of shot, you know, when you're comfortable, you nestle them on the 7 pretty easily.
got to make sure you get on the 7 because we know what cue may come to the table if you don't.
Yeah, if he jumps, I think he's got to jump and try and edge it and run the cue ball somewhere. I think that's the percentage. Try and go back towards the 7 and 3 with the white ball.
We hear it a lot, don't we, Jeremy, about the jump cue, and I'm sure people listening back home have heard us talk about Fedor being, the best with it, certainly one of the best. But you don't keep playing with that cue and controlling it how you would like. So it's important for Carlo just to play the right shot and the game plan, because it's in a couple of jump shots not quite go Fedor's way.
Yeah, and the other thing is, don't be alarmed by the 2 or 3 that he might knock in on you in this race to 15. You got to sit there and still get the snooker. We talked about it all the time in the Moscone. A devastating snooker is awesome to get, but the snooker itself and the biggest moments are the most important. Okay, a little tricky here. Just got to maintain the cue ball. There's a couple little obstacles. He can handle a bump at that speed, most likely.
Well done. A little straight on the pink 4, but you feel like that was maybe a little unavoidable, and you're swinging it around the table. He wants to get close to his work. That's what he's done.
I really like that aggressive third bounce off the rail. With the 6 so available, he can draw back and handle a lot on the purple 5.
The most recent World 9-Ball Tour ranking final featured Fedor Gorst against a Filipino, Johan Chur. It was 6-6, and then Chur won the last 7 racks to lift the trophy. Is Biado here going to win 5 on the trot? That was the night shot Dubai Open. This, though, is the massive event known as the World 9-Ball Championship. Every shot is pressurized.
Yeah, he may have to go short side on the 7 here, or take something thin from just past the 8. Oh wow, I can't believe he's elevating here. It's gonna fall a little funny.
I think he's okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I was with you. I thought it was going to slide a bit more and come closer. It's actually landed lovely. What a shot. This is how well Biado is feeling. I mean, jacking up there. Not many would take that shot on.
No, if you're practicing, maybe.
I think you still wouldn't.
Well, one thing, we discussed it earlier, when it comes to those unique shots, Carlo not only is one of the best at it, but really fun to watch.
Yeah, he's got a pretty unorthodox sort of cue action. He's a bit of a fiddler at the table, but boy, you can get the rock moving.
How about this? It's a final that revolves around the figure 5. At 2-0, Fedor Gorst missed the 5, and ever since it's been Carlo Biado who's been in the ascendancy, and now he's won 5 on the trot to move 3 clear. It's still very early days in this race to 15, but Biado, he must be feeling quite confident now.
Yeah, it's early days, but it's the kind of thing we needed to see if this man here was going to be beat, because there's been a few matches over the last 2 World Championships here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia where some of Fedor's opponents have collapsed under the pressure.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And really all departments. The touch has been there with the safeties. The decisions have been awesome. Even more importantly, the break shot. That's really, well, what if you're a Carlo fan, that's what you wanted to see the most of. And maybe even a few little chinks in the armor from his opponent, Fedor Gorst.
The jump shot there not quite working out for Gorch. You don't say that too often. We were talking about Biado coming up short in his attempt to defend the title. The same thing happened to Albin Auschen, won in 2021, lost in the final the following year to Shane van Boning. It is tough to double up.
Has it dressed up okay? I think it may have, you know.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, he's a little thin on the 2, I think, but the 3's near. And again, I just love the spreads he's getting at, you know, not soft by any means, but a bit lighter than Fedor. Pink 4's a little tight by the 9. Purple 5's pretty close quarters though, so.
Now commentary position is well away from the table, just as well, because I think if Carlo Biado heard me say this, he might go weak at the knees. The first prize here is 14.3 million Philippine pesos. 14.3 million.
I'll tell you, that opening shot, a lot of people don't realize that was all about wanting to get on the 3 to get on the 4. That's why he moved the rock all the way around the table. Didn't see the pattern he wanted from just kind of, you know, cinching the 2 ball. Now here, pay attention to the pocket a little bit. I don't think he has but the upper half.
Yeah, even that shot there, Jeremy, I think that tells you a story, because look at where the cue ball's landed. Very easy to underdo it, but when that's on the mine, you can end up running it a little bit higher up near the kitchen line. He's landed absolutely spot on.
Yeah, well, you'll have, you know, we got 128 players in this field, and they're all great players, but the difference between the ones that win is a lot of them can start matches like this and really start to feeling good, but these type of guys that win the events, once they start like this, they usually don't falter too much.
Yeah, been there, done that mentality.
And he's putting a lot of heat on the ghost here early.
Carlo Biado wins the end.
It is 6 on the trot for Carlo Biado, the man who began playing the game of pool at the age of 13. He was a caddy at an air base in his native Philippines. He caddied bags in the day and then potted balls at night. And now, 28 years later, well, he's edging towards what would be his second World 9-ball title. And of course, he is last year's World 10-ball champion. What a competitor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of curious. Is that 2 breaking runs right there in a row?
Well, you're saying he's chasing the $10,000 as well?
No, there were jumps involved in the last rack. That's right. And then he got the 3 in the side.
Yeah, he won the 7th after a safety battle and then broken ran there. Robbie Capito can breathe a little easier. Basically, there's a break and run out bonus here of $10,000 US for the most consecutive break and run outs during the championship. Right now, top of the table, feeling good about his chances. Hong Kong's Robbie Capito, who had 5 consecutive break and run outs on the very first evening of competition.
Yeah, it's what we call a package, so
Rack
we
9.
would say
Carlo Biado to break.
Robbie Capito has
Leading
run
6
5
racks to 2.
And we did say that might be the number, Jeremy. 5. We kind of felt that was the case last year. It was Eklund Katchi who ran a 5-pack. It's tough to go bigger, isn't it?
Yeah, especially, you know, you're trying to win this tournament, so you got to make probably some on the fence decisions. Ooh, this was a much different looking rack. The 9 moved quite a bit. The 1 hit a mile low. Yeah, let's get another look. And the 9 didn't move really. It just got a little kiss. You think he took a hair speed off compared to the others?
Yeah, I was looking at the cue ball. It actually come off the side and straight into the 9. And it went low, so it would seem to be that he's hit it a little thicker, which would mean the 1 goes higher, but it didn't. It went lower, so maybe it is a speed thing.
Oh, big shot after not getting much or many offensive looks. And I feel Gorst will bury this.
Yeah, just cue this one in. Is he slightly jacking down, or is that just fooled me a little bit?
No, he's going to pop it.
Okay. Well, this is what can happen. Doesn't matter whether you're Fedor Gorst or Carlo Biado. If you put your opponent under a little bit of pressure, them pots, them shots become a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, a little on the 50 here on the safety. Initially, I thought it would be, you know, bang the 1 around and pull the cue ball behind the 3, 4, 8, and 9. But now I think he may edge this and run the cue ball. And he played it with a high ball. I don't know if he's going to get the snooker he wants. If he doesn't, oh, he did. I didn't know that was going to get there.
Just thinking about the break and runs, just to put some perspective on it. I think Chua was second with a 4-pack, and then everyone else is, you know, 2s and 3s. They're the most common number.
So Soa put a couple 2s together in a match with a safety in between. So nice hit there, but it's going to offer a shot. Not an easy one. There is some angle, but he's been right on so far.
And again, Gorst cannot disguise his frustration.
Yeah, there is some trouble in this rack, but if you get on the 3 correctly, after making this 1 and 2, you can take care of some of those little issues.
Deceiving, Jeremy. It was actually a nice angle.
Yeah, I thought it had a little thinner, like he maybe had to go to the bottom cushion, or the top cushion, rather. But I like the pace he's hitting everything, too. He's not dribbling it to the hole. Okay, he's going to come out a little bit. Got to kill the cue ball, take the pink in the upper left after he deposits the red 3.
It looks like the cue ball just ran a little further than he initially wanted. Yeah, so now he's going to come over the other side, which may have been the plan all along, to be fair.
Yeah, without a doubt. If you get really good on the 3, you may fall hair behind the pink and just draw over for the purple in the lower left. Just pay attention. You don't really need much draw. Just come across.
He's keeping the heat on his opponent. That's all he's doing.
Fell a little flatter than he wanted here, though. Me personally, on the slick table, I kind of like the stun straight up the table myself, especially he's playing so well. Just get to the center, he can handle the 6. He's drawing it.
He's drawing it, he's ripping it. He's got to watch the scratch here. The scratch is on.
Boy, but he's stroking the ball. He's opening up the pocket the way he's hitting the ball.
Just look at where that's finished. It's just beautiful. It's on the money. It's perfect. fouls, so the shirt, any piece of the clothing cannot hit another ball.
Now he's on top. There is no dispute about that. It's all about sustaining concentration. This is a very lengthy match. It's a marathon. And just as the match has swung away from Gorch, it could swing away from Biado. While things are going well, keep them going well.
Yeah, you could see there what I was talking about the cue action. He wiggles his finger, he's got an
Carlo
unusual
Biado
bridge.
with the ninth rack.
The Filipino has got great support in the crowd here. They're on the front row. The VIPs who have made all of this phenomenal championship possible have arrived, and what a spectacle it is for them. What a spectacle at the Green Halls in Jeddah in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the final of the World 9-Ball Pool Championship. The way it started off, we were wondering whether Fedor Gorst would complete a runaway. Okay, he was only 2-0 up, but he was looking so good. Now there, chatting with Emily Fraser, His Excellency Mr. Badr Al-Qadi, the Vice Minister of Sport. He's got a front row look at the action.
10. Carlo Biado to break, leading 7 racks to 2.
And the man who is controlling the exchanges right now hails from the Philippines. Carlo Biado. Far too experienced, though, to think any complacent thoughts. So Carl Boys has vacated the commentary box to be replaced by the one and only Scott Frost.
Thank you all for allowing me to work with you. It's been a slight exhibition from Biado, JJ.
Yeah, really, firing on all cylinders per se. And I was curious about this break because he did have a dry one in the last, the only one he's had. And really, the balls didn't open quite as much. You can see the spreads he's getting, and it's just played beautifully, really. I mean, of course, the commentator's curse. I was just going to say, really only one mistake. Early, he banked at a 2-ball that he hung.
Well, is this also maybe kind of like a casino where you're shooting dice and they bring a new dealer in? Well, here I am.
A new shoe.
That too.
Oh, look at this, though. Shouldn't really cost him. We'll see how he manages because there's not a whole lot of trouble on the bottom end and the pink is near, but just that shot there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's had a lot of time off, though, right? I don't know what that does to you at this stage of the game.
Yeah, watch out for the 9. This could get flicked towards that lower left corner.
So let's do the maths here as, again, things don't quite work out. From here, Gorst has to win 13 of the next 20 racks. Of course, that's well within his capabilities. But it's asking a lot.
Yeah, it sure is. JJ, is there any value at softly going at the 9 here with like a low outside ball,
Extension
maybe
call.
sending the pink up behind the 5 and 6? Is it just, you can't hold the pink, but you might get lucky? Is there any value?
Yeah, of course. It's a winning shot, right? It's just like trying to, if you're on the fence with a safety, but I think he buries him behind the 9 here.
Nothing wrong with that. He is close enough. He tried to play it, I think.
Yeah, he's going to need a little roll, and I tell you, he's left a guy that has hit every shot really well, besides this last 2-ball. He's left him a look, and I think he's got a little angle going towards the brown 7, just a hair. Really forced to shoot here, though.
Yeah, avoiding the 7 is really everything here unless he catches the right side. Oh, how clean.
Yeah, and I don't know how much of a look he's going to get. He's close cueing, but what that does with that pink 4 right there, that makes him forget about the 2 ball just a moment ago. I mean, because that one there, it gets him back on track, what he's been doing the entire match.
He's going to be glued up here, I believe.
He's got to get enough speed. You know, this isn't your club table where the rails are real bouncy. This type of shot you can underhit pretty easily. I might just play the purple. Oh, he hit it nice. Jump cue won't be on offer here, I don't think. I don't think. Maybe it will.
With this guy, every available opportunity.
Well, again, he's got to get up quickly with distance, so this 5 isn't going to have a lot of speed. So this may be make the 9 or give up the 9.
Yeah, it's like literally do or die. And he has sold it out.
Yeah, and that all starts with the first shot on the 2 ball, doesn't it, Scott? I mean, really easy position on the red 3. Had to go into the 9, got on top of the 4, and then things, you know, became troublesome. Carlo watched him with the bridge quite often, and Carl always talks about technique with the bridge, of course, being English and all the great snooker players, but very, very good with the bridge, Carlo Biado.
Yeah, he doesn't look good, but he is good.
Yeah. Yeah, to see Bustamante, of course, one of the greats from the Philippines. He's unreal with the bridge, and it's the most awkward you've ever seen, really.
Yeah, he's such a straight shooter, this Biado. And I've always felt like Pagulayan was probably up there with the best with the bridge as well. Snooker background also.
Oh, yeah, he has more of a proper technique and spent a lot of time doing it, playing on the 6x12 in Canada, and a lot of pull. So again, easy to leave that mistake behind on the blue 2 early in this rack and get on to doing what you've been doing.
You can hear one woman's voice every time he pots a crucial ball. She says yes. There's no doubt he's on the side of Carlo Biado, and it's a good side to be on. This is extraordinary. How many times does Fedor Gorst lose 8 racks in succession? Well, he has done this evening. Another interested spectator, the Deputy Minister of Sport Events, Mr. Khalid Al-Mawad. And let me tell you, this arena and that front row, what a view you have of all of the proceedings. And of course, this isn't the only big Q Sports event to come to Saudi Arabia this summer. The snooker will also be here in a few weeks' time. The General Manager of Sports Events, Najla Al Saud, also enjoying the action. Okay, here's a question. Gorst has won pretty much everything. He won the World Masters, the US Open, and this last year alone. Is he now panicking?
I don't know if that word really comes into
Carlo Biado to break.
Gorst's mind.
Hitting 8 racks to 2.
Really, I mean, there is something going on there. There's a hair of doubt, maybe. That's more of the one that I think creeps in. I mean, the panic is just like the score's the score, and you know, I've made enough mistakes, and he's played great to let it get there. But the thing is, he'll get an opportunity, you figure. But again, is there any doubt that comes with it?
Yeah, just to touch on that as well, JJ and Phil. Game number 3, I still go back to it. I was out there in the arena or sitting outside it. Misses the 5, but I didn't really look at how he missed the 5, I more looked at himself, and his reaction was really kind of stunning. He was just very hard on himself, or harder than you typically see him. He doesn't give off much, Fedor Gorst. So I just wondered if that had anything to do with him going forward. But this guy's played near perfect.
Yeah, as he chipped the 2, put it behind them balls like that. Just get the snooker and play on. That's a smart play, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's forced here, I believe, to go 2. Can he get around the 6-1 rail?
Oh, I think he can, yeah. Because the thing is, on this shot, Scott, you don't have to hit the 2 dead full. You can hit
Sure.
2/3 of it and the cue ball go up into the 6-9, you know. And you don't have to hit it with a lot of speed either.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. That's one key with the kick and stick, and this ball's still close enough to where you can hold.
I think he's a favorite to get the snooker. I like the speed. Oh, my.
About stroke.
So
Ball
it
in hand.
was maybe a bit thinner, but maybe he overhit it a little.
Yeah, and
Please start
I
the clock.
don't like hitting as much high with that when I really need. I like more of the equator. That way I get the maximum out of that left English, and especially on the slick table. And
Yeah, almost where the cue ball was there, JJ, so close to the rail, it's kind of like you're digging at it just a bit.
yeah, that's exactly correct. You may even swerve it a hair if you feel comfortable from distance. But now there are some Gorst fans out there panicking, Phil. That's for sure. I mean, but he's a true professional, and yeah, I was going to say he may not be happy with that. He wanted to be able to follow straight through without bumping the pink. That way he could cut the 4 and come across for the 6. He may still be able to do that.
Yeah,
He goes through the ball as well as anyone, I think. Really holds the line. Yeah, I like that.
One of those instances where he gave Gorch maybe false hope by looking as though he was disappointed, and then he pulled the shot off with absolute ease.
yeah, as Carl calls it, he was milking it.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, almost all of us do that a hair. Some do it a little more severely and a little more often, and maybe a little more on purpose, I think. I think it's just kind of a natural reaction overall. Could bump the 9 a hair, yeah, I was going to say. Maybe bump the 9 over a little bit. That's a little bit of a choice, whether you want to take a little thinner 8 drawn up the table or a little more distance. He is getting on with it as well.
Yeah, he's up for it, no doubt.
Yeah, not letting anything really creep in negatively with the pace of play we've seen here from Carlo.
Yeah, for him tonight, 30 seconds is not an imposition.
Carlo Biado
Make it
wins the 11th
9
rack.
in succession for Carlo Biado. This is now a one-sided final. We thought it might be the other way around, as Mr. Naif Al-Jawani, chairman of the Saudi Billiards and Snooker Federation, watches on. He knows the sport. He will be perhaps surprised the fact that the defending champion right now is being trounced. Yeah, the Filipino flag, the Marboys flag, flying high. He's not there yet, but he is just 6 racks away from regaining that world crown he originally captured 8 years ago. And flying the Filipino flag is young AJ Manis.
Yeah, he hopes one day for Carlo to be returning the favor, and he's out in this position. But at the moment in this match, it's been all Carlo Biado, and as deservingly it should be, really. I mean, after that mistake you said in the 3rd game, Scott, there were 2 or 3 tactical ones that got away as well for Fedor Gorst. You know, after he missed position, looked like he got a little frustrated, maybe a hair rushed, and then gave up some shots, some looks to Carlo, and he buried him.
Let's not forget this. Last year, when he won the title, he did face, in one match, a 7-rack deficit. 7-0 down to Amir Ali of
9
Iraq,
racks to 2.
who performed so well this time around. He came back to win that 11-9, but that was in the last 64. The pressure here, of course, much more ramped up.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying he can't do it, but this stage a little bit different. He'd definitely make history.
Well, on the the other thing, he's got a guy that I don't really feel like it's going to be a lot of gifts from Carlo. You know what I mean? Where, like you said, the thing about Amir the other day, that maybe Amir gave a few away with that big lead. And speaking of Amir, the news I've heard is good chance he's going to become a full-time WNT pro.
Well, let's hope so. The man who got to the quarterfinals this time around, beating Anton Raga brilliantly.
All right, he's going to go to the upper corner. This will have a little thump on it. I'd say just don't blast it too much. Oh, he's rolling it. Okay.
Yeah, to your point though, JJ, one of his fortes is that little thump. When he slightly elevates, I don't know if there's anybody better in the world at it than Biado. Can't fault him for rolling this though, especially if he's feeling good, and we know he's feeling good.
Yeah, this is going to be a little wide. Is he going to get away with it somewhat? And I think, you know, not thumping it was more about getting a little closer to the 3 to get to the 4, which is back down on the bottom. But just like Carlo we talked about, he has to come with some big shots to overcome a Fedor Gorst.
Extension call.
Same thing for Mr. Gorch himself. He's got to make a nice rail first here to get something started.
I think he's one at best. Shane Van Bonen, obviously, with the rail first shot as well. But Gorst, I don't know in this situation, how's he going to handle the deficit? This is kind of unfamiliar territory for Gorst in a final.
Yeah, and this is natural though. So this is all about pocketing the ball. The speed could be a little off, but he should gain shape. Easy to overcut this, I think, sometimes. He actually hit it a hair thick, and our reigning world champion just can't get anything going.
No, and I believe he's possibly left a look. Does the 5 have the 2 covered up?
I don't know if he has a pocket. I don't know if he can get to that side of it. Now, since he's addressing it, I think he can.
Yeah, he didn't expect to catch a piece of the green 6. Yeah, just picked up the pace a little bit as he peered up to the clock. Crashing into the green 6 again.
Gorst is suffering from a chronic shortage of quality table time. Even when he comes to the table, it's always awkward.
Yeah, and don't think that doesn't play a major role in the future. And this is off. Not intended to get behind the pink there with the 3.
Yeah, and he's left him really natural. It's touchy, but to drop the cue ball behind the purple. Now here, don't worry about the 3 coming all the way up, right? Just play the natural to drop behind the purple 5, coming a hair off the left side of the red 3. Played a similar shot in the semifinal, pretty much to perfection. Oh, he went for the bank.
I think he was trying to tuck behind the 4.
Oh, I thought the 5 was like a hanger to get behind.
Maybe a little thin. It looked good to me as well. What Jeremy was talking about is just allowing the 3 to get up somewhere middle table. Don't try to get it all the way down. That's how you get him behind the 5. Maybe just a bit thin. I don't know.
Does he have to cut at this? I mean, there's almost as much value going for the cut, bringing the cue ball back towards the pink 4. Oh no, this is way too thin to cut.
Oh, that's clever. That's clever. And he needs something like that to get himself going. But what he really needs is a shot after this. And not just a shot, like Phil just said. He needs a look, and a good one.
All right, he's got options here. If he can kick behind those 2 rails and run the cue ball down the rail towards some congestion.
Well, Gorst has his wish. Can he bring some of that magic to bear and launch a fight back?
Playing this with a little inside off the 6. Now, what's the 6 gonna do? Is
Yeah,
the 6
exactly.
gonna, is it gonna go into the 8, kind of replace something that he doesn't, figure to happen? Oh, he got away from it, so that was nice. Went right between the 8 and the pink 4.
Does he have to go up and down, or can he hold?
Boy, you sure want to hold if you can, but up and down is what he may have to do.
He's stretching.
He's going to have to float this, Scott. I mean, he's a little off the rail. Do you play the 6 up long, or do you go ahead and work the ball back and forth?
Yeah, he's looking like he wants to pound back and forth. It's definitely not gotten any easier. That shot's easy to pinch a little bit, but floating it takes a ton of heart.
Yeah, watch out for the 9. I don't think the side pockets are a problem. Catches it a hair heavy. Yeah, good stuff.
He made it look easy, that shot. Full of technique. Out above the 9 again. Really doesn't matter where he gets on the brown here.
Mathematically not a must-win rack, but in reality, especially with the opportunity he's got, you have to think it is.
Yeah, he wants to get to that break. That's the one that's going to bring him back. I don't think it's going to be Carlo that brings him back. I think it's going to be the break shot. Going back and forth here.
You know, you hear the beeps every time he's down on the ball. He's patterned his game off of those buzzers. It's not an accident. It's not a coincidence.
Are we about to see the seeds of a remarkable turnaround?
Fedor Gorst wins the 12th
We'll
rack.
find out, at the very least, the rot is stopped. 9 consecutive racks for Carlo Biado, but now Gorch could be on the comeback trail. What a final here at the Green Halls in Jeddah. Although not the scoreline many expected, Carlo Biado has been superb thus far. 9-3 ahead. It was 9-2. Now, last year when he captured the title, Fedor Gorst was behind in the final, but it was 14-13, a very different proposition. He won the last couple of racks to snatch the verdict.
Well, there's the one. Will the 2 open up here? I know Jeremy talks about it, but the speed at which the 1 travels in, Gorst, probably not so underrated on the break shot anymore. Definitely up there with the best of them. Yeah, I think if he gets out to the center, he can twist the 3 in. The problem is the pink 4. Can he do anything with the cue ball with an outside ball? I guess objective number 1 is burying the blue 2.
Knowledgeable members of the crowd applauding that one.
Yeah.
These middle pockets have to be so accurate.
Yeah, this is close here. I'm not sure what kind of camera angle we can get on that, but can he put much speed on this, or does he have to ease it in, Scott, with a little bit of throw?
Yeah, that's what I was just touching on, JJ. I agree. I think if you can turn
That's
this
actually
3
cool.
in, well, the other problem is where does the 9 go number 1 if you make a good hit? And number 2, the pink is some distance down here. You're not going to get much speed on it, like JJ just said.
I think he feels like he can draw off of it. Maybe get a kiss off the 9 coming back.
Good call, JJ.
Is he going to get a pocket? I think he is.
Well, he made a great shot.
Yeah, it seems like he's settled the stroke, that's for sure. Still got work. 6 doesn't pass the 7. It does pass the 9 to the lower left.
Yeah, is he a little off angle?
Just a hair, I think. I don't know if that's enough. Yeah, it's gotten odd.
Yeah, he wanted more out of the cue ball there for sure. He wanted to play short side of the green 6 to the lower left. That's not going to happen.
The good thing is he didn't, he fell short enough to where he can get to that combination. Easy when you fall short to land where you're kind of drawing on top of the 6. Or even cueing more awkwardly. Big ball here.
Yeah, look at the arm over the green 6. Pretty clean, JJ.
Yeah, kind of squeezed it home. Really good stroke. Yeah, I wonder if the 6 is going to get away just a little bit. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about, are you talking about the 6 maybe going up a little as the cue
Yeah.
ball comes down?
Yeah, exactly. And he may draw back out. Or he followed, yeah, just to create movement with the 6 ball. It's okay. He got the cue ball off the rail. I think that was a big part of that plan because he couldn't totally determine where the 6 was going to land. A little on the 50, but you got to like his chances.
Yeah, you see the cue pointing 1, 2, 3. He's elevating pretty heavy here, though.
Is he going inside the 9? He went into the 9. Well, it didn't have to turn out this good, but he'll take it.
Yeah, a little gamble there.
Can he not check the cue ball? He's looking like he's going to run it. Pull it 2 rails, maybe.
I feel like he can check this.
And not hitting dead center on a lot of these. But putting it together.
Cutting back into
Fedor
a
Gorst wins
blind
first in
pocket.
track.
No issue though for Fedor Gorst. There's no exorcising the ghost. He's still very much in this. The deficit now 9-4, and Carlo Biado knows that, yes, he's won 9 racks in succession. So could Fedor Gorst. That's the player he is. Now, one of the highlights on the World 9-Ball Tour each year is the Hanoi Open in the Vietnamese capital. The interest in pool in that city defies belief. The crowds turn out in their thousands, literally. Huge queues for autographs outside the venue, and it all takes place from the 7th to the 12th of October this year. Hanoi Open. I think the atmosphere there is second to none.
Yeah, I agree, Phil. I mean, last year we had about 3,000 in the stands, and just like the year before, another 500 or 600 outside waiting for autographs or pictures or any kind of moment they can get with these great players. And what's so impressive with not only the pool rooms around Hanoi and how vast they are, but how young the crowd is.
And there is also a connection with the man in your picture right now, because Fedor Gorst in Vietnam is wildly popular.
Thank you. Fedor Gorst to break, trailing 9 racks to 4.
Yeah, he'd like to repeat what he did on the break shot last game.
Doesn't want the 2 to fall. Yeah, can he go forward? Can he avoid the point? And you think about it, right? I mean, with Vietnam, and he's got to be one of the top sportsmen in Vietnam that's not Vietnamese. I mean, I'm not sure, what sport they like the most. Maybe soccer, football, maybe.
One night, the inaugural Hanoi Open was on. Popped out of the arena because I wasn't commentating, and there were 2 tables set up. One where Fedor Gorst was signing autographs, the other where Jason Shaw was doing the same. And the queue was right down the road, literally farther than I could see.
Yeah, JJ got a lot out of that, coming down around and through the 9 and pink 4.
Yeah, now one of his bread and butter shots, really, the stun 2 cushions. Hard to go wrong, really. No scratch really available. Besides a miss, I really don't see anything. Maybe besides catching the purple and snookering somehow, but he decided to go long. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, maybe just concerned that the cue ball was going to open up off that second rail, coming tight. Kind of surprised me as well.
Yeah, and if you look at it from this angle, the 7's a little more in play than it looks at from this camera angle, I think. So definitely the right decision.
I think we talked a little bit about it during the interim before the finals started. Kind of felt like the race to 15 favored Federer a little bit because of the rough patches at times.
Yeah, and he just seems to always show you, usually he's going to put a little something together during every set he plays, and a race to 15 really allows the comfort to do so, and maybe you put a couple little sessions together that maybe ice a match or get you back in it.
Breaking runouts for Gorst in this match have been a rarity. This one is timely, if it transpires.
I don't think it's a problem, but he did overrun this just a touch. He's one of the best at going forward.
settle because of the stretch, not so much of the angle, falling straight, a little angle this way or that way. Just leaning. Anytime you're going from cross corner there, that's the longest stretch on the pool table.
Extension called.
Yeah, this is something that Gorst is great at. Managing the shot clock, managing the extension. He holds out. You won't really see him use it very often early in a rack.
Well, just to put a figure on it, this is Gorch's first break and run out since rack 2.
Fedor Gorst wins the 14th rack.
It is a landslide no more. Respectability has been restored to the scoreline, but of course, Gorch far from satisfied. He knows a big job of work is still to be completed. The other thing as well, Carlo Biado, 41 years of age, he's been playing top-level competitive pool for so many years now. Okay, he doesn't want to see Gorch come back, but there's no way that he will be concerned at the moment. That 4-rack advantage, still substantial.
Yeah, how can you ignore a 4-rack advantage in this format? Very substantial.
We have plenty of showed up for this final, and I think the semifinal had a few more in the room than the views let on, but so much on offer. The VIP room is something I'm sure a lot of the fans were in there. First class, really.
One of the great Q Sports atmospheres I've sampled was here in Saudi Arabia for the first Golden Ball event in snooker when Ronnie O'Sullivan
Rack 15.
captured the title.
Fedor Gorst to break.
He has so many fans
29
here
racks
and
to
the
5.
atmosphere was electric.
They just got such great smiles. I'm jealous.
Oh, he dodged one there. The 2's going to be nearing the side. Is it going to go in? Oh, it's not. So here we go, Fedor Gorst.
Yeah, he'd like to come all the way back past the 7 and 9, maybe.
Oh yeah, he's going to draw to the end rail, maybe even with a hair right spin to kind of spin towards the 3. I think he needs just a little bit of it, really, the right, along with the draw.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little tricky just because the 3 definitely doesn't play in the upper left. So the only pocket would be the left middle, JJ.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, be aggressive bouncing off this bottom cushion. I mean, you could play the triple on the 3-5-8, a triple combination, but this seems okay to me.
Yeah, I think it's just a little steeper than we think. He might end up a little thin on the 3, which is okay.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be on the rail shooting this ball. That's the one he wants to avoid. It did just stop.
This is a real knee knocker.
Extension call.
Stillness of upper body, a prerequisite.
No, I just mentioned that he uses extensions wisely well, and typically later, but he also uses them when he needs it and recognizes this is important.
Yeah, does he need to elevate just a hair? Or does he follow through? Or is there enough angle there to just kind of medium roll this ball? Yeah, he's elevating just a little. This is one that could bobble.
Well, JJ, I actually thought the elevation would keep him from connecting with the 4.
Yeah, well, if you noticed, he caught the 3 a little thick, so he pushed through a little more on the 3. Don't think he was trying to go into the pink. Could be wrong there.
Big exhale there from Gorst. I think you can stay away from any kisses here, JJ, with an outside ball. Just chipping the 8 in.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a good thing about being close to it. You should be able to control that object ball, the 5 that you're making this combination with. But he's acting like this 8's a little more on the rail. Not on the rail, but a little more of a cut. So he may play it just to come across.
And still using outside ball to help the 8.
We always talk about these matches having 2 halves, it seems. Fedor Gorst is starting to get a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, race to 15 is a true test, as it should be in a World Championship final. The gap is closing. The Ghost becoming a little more scary.
Fedor Gorst wins the 15th round.
In the doldrums when he trailed 9-2. Now in contention as he trails only 9-6. What a final brewing here in Jeddah.
Okay. Okay, here we are. The Whirlpool Championships 2025. This is the final. Make some noise! Yes! Okay, we've got some giveaways, but it's gonna go to the loudest side. So this side, make some noise! That wasn't bad, but the t-shirt didn't quite make it. This side, make some noise! Again, it didn't quite make it, but we're gonna work on that. Can you all come a little bit closer, please? Okay, which side now is the loudest? Is it this side? It's okay. Is it this side? Is it you guys? It's not quite you guys. Okay, we're gonna do that one more time. Is it this side? Is it this side? There's our winner. Let's go. Does it make it? Someone dived on it, and they've got it. Give them a big round of applause for diving on that top. Well done. We've got more giveaways coming up in the next break. Thank you.
It was 9 racks in succession for Carlo Biado. Now it's 4 on the trot for Fedor Gorst. These are the vital statistics. Gentlemen, anything catch your eye? The lung pot success of Carlo Biado catches mine.
Yeah, the pot success is just on the money, right? 94% Gorst, 95% Biado, and then JJ, the break and runs.
Yeah,
Actually, 4 for Gorst versus 2 for Biado, and it almost seems the opposite.
Yeah, well, it was how he started and now how he's finished here in these last few racks. But the 5 safety errors, that's what really got it going for
rack
Carlo.
16.
5 safety errors
Fedor
for
Gorst to break.
Gorst, only
29
to
racks
1
to
for
6.
Carlo Biado. Oh, he's missed the 1.
Sure has, high.
It's going to open up as well. So now, you know, Carlos sat down for a little while. He's watched Gorch do his thing for a few racks. He's got an open shot. Is he going to feel pressure thinking, I really need to get out here? He's played beautifully.
I'll tell you what, it's a pretty good starter. The 2's in a great spot, along with the 3, really.
Yeah, absolutely. He can just come right between the 5 and 6, 1 cushion. Keep it simple. You can handle distance. A little off angle here.
Yeah, I'd like to have been more towards the center. Just, you know, a foot right would have been ideal.
Yeah, you wonder on that shot there, and that's because the spin, he didn't want to roll it or kind of check it and take a little more distance on the 3, and therefore it
Please
got
start the clock.
away.
Thank you.
I also feel like it's a big part of how he played the 1, right? You want to get more towards the center. So now he tries to pinch the 2.
And just what happens is that slick table just doesn't quite throw the ball as much as you would think sometimes. And I really didn't mind him kind of rolling that with a hair left and taking the 3, because he could shoot the 4 from where the 3 was at with no problem.
Wow, I think he tried to split the gap between the 3 and 9, up and down. Went flush into the 3.
I didn't mind running into the 3, but I
Extension
thought he
call.
would ease it. You know, just the right side rail so open, just kind of take what it gives you there.
He wasn't playing into the 3 that speed, though.
Oh,
right?
no,
He
no,
was
for
going
sure.
up and
Yeah,
down,
he was going up and down.
100%.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. The other thing about going up and down, also he could handle distance if he just had a little bounce off that second cushion. Even if he stayed inside the kitchen beyond the head string, the 3 is pretty much a hanger for him. So we know shots are going to grow, and the value of each one of them will get greater. At the moment, this pink 4 seems like a really big one. Needs a hair outside here, Scott?
Yeah, I think it's natural that direction. He's got to avoid the 9 clearly. Needs to settle. It'll be perfect.
One of the best shots of the final for me so far, that. And the very fact he scrambled it in off the near jaw actually helped with position to hold that cue ball. Middle of the pocket, that might have drifted on and hooked him behind the 7.
Yeah, and looking back at Carlo's 2 ball that he missed, could really handle an angle on the 3. Also, if he wanted to come out, let's say a diamond, he still could pocket the 3 and come across. So I do get it. We just see that ball missed a little more often than we expect, or maybe anyone at home expects. A little bit shy of his mark, but again, the 8-9 so handy.
Yeah, the turn a little bit shy of his mark has kind of been the story the last 2 sets for Gorst on this table. He's gotten it done. Still got his work cut out for him.
Gorch breaks the balls. I got it as a dead heat match from here, even though he trails by 2 games. Momentum.
It's amazing how it shifts in matches of this importance. Fedor Gorst digging deep. 5 on the trot now. The missed 2 from Biado hurting. That is Haf's DJ for the week. She's been doing her stuff just behind us. Our commentary position is directly in front of where she's entertaining the crowd. She's one of Saudi Arabia's leading DJs, and like so many people here this week, it's been a real team effort. She's done a fine job.
Yeah, she sure has, Phil. I think she's had you moving the left leg a time or 2.
Well, yeah, one at a time.
Look at that smile. Trending.
Well, on the move is Fedor Gorst. It looked as though we might have an early night, but just before he got to double digits, Carlo Biado stalled, and the missed 2 ball in the last rack will have increased
70.
the doubts
Fedor
in his
Gorst
mind.
break, trailing 9 racks to 7.
Oh, that cue ball was getting lost there. That was definitely going cross side, I believe. So he caught it a little thick, right? When you're catching that one rail and it's going towards the side without the kiss, that means you caught the one a little thick. Explains the miss. Watch the cue ball here. Yeah, it's starting to bend right towards that side. So sometimes those kisses are really penal. I think there was a bit of a savior. Just gonna float the one past up the table. Oh, it's a little light, it looks like. Didn't expect that with a 6, 8, and 3. So, you know, such a big area to get behind.
Yeah, that was extremely light. Now he's got options here. He could take the one on, but boy, he's got a big wall behind. Purple 5, pink 4. He's so good at rolling the cue ball as well, JJ. He's great with the level cue.
Yeah,
Where the 2 is at, it's tough to play the 1.
yeah, I think if he didn't have that option, I think he goes at the 1, but with the safety there, I think he's got to play that. I was thinking he might cut this and come on him, just because you don't really have to roll it as much, right? You could put a hair more speed, play the cut. So a few little things for Carlo have slipped away, and if you think about it, it's been 3 2 balls. It's been a bank early on the 2, the kill shot on the 2 also, and then was it the 2 in the last game?
It was the 2 in the last game. Yeah, where he tried to pinch and hold, came too far on the 1. Gorst has another look. He has to wait till the cue ball stops.
So does the shot clock. Can't start until those revolutions have ended.
Awkward stretch. Probably needs to throw this in with a hair right spin. I don't think there's a clean path to go up and down the table.
No, I fully agree, JJ. I think he just twists this in.
Well, he could kind of go at the 2 a little, because this is pretty thin. It's got a real clear left side. He may end up underneath the 2 and play it short side to the lower left corner.
Yeah, the stretch might dictate how hard he decides to hit this.
All right, floated it nicely.
The lady we've just seen is definitely a Carlo Biado fan. She's been here a lot this week.
Yeah, you can see the stroke is starting to get a little bit more fluid from Gorst. He can sense a little weakness from his opponent, realizing he's human. I think that's the beauty, JJ, of the race to 15.
Yeah, we talked about it when it changed from races to 9 to race to 11. You know, 4-1, 5-1. You don't tend to get the panic feeling near as much or the worry feeling as much. And here's the same in this race to 15. I mean, until they get to double digits, you know what I mean? You feel like you're definitely still in the match. Gonna draw this just a hint.
Yeah, actually pretty clever. Got it to where the cueing is nice and he's comfortable. Didn't have to end up real close to the 5.
Now, of course, the only concern, stay off the rail with the cue ball as you come 2 cushions, maybe 3. Can handle a lot with the 7 fairly open.
Well, how big is the 9 here? Cue ball could drop down on him. Yeah,
You went long, so the speed's got to be perfect when you come at this angle.
yeah, that's why he went long, though. I think he was concerned coming 2 rails tight again, just like earlier, Jeremy.
Yeah, I thought that one though he could just add a little right and come between the 8-9 pretty easily. Don't think he'll shoot at the side pocket. I don't think so, anyways.
I agree.
Can't get position, right?
He's got to send the green down low here, using the 8 and 9.
Now, do you just kind of double bank it or just float it? Is that enough? It is. It held up. So we'll see. Maybe it's something tactical that gets Carlo feeling a little better at the moment. I was a little surprised at the position play from Gorst there, though, or the choice.
Well, 2 matches ago, or maybe 3 versus Jeffrey Rhoda, he played that outside ball 2 rails. It really lengthened out on the top right corner. Remember, Jeremy? And it should have scratched. And after the match, he told me, he said, it kind of jarred me on that shot. And I wonder if that's got anything to do with his decisions the last 2 times he's really had that play.
Yeah, maybe. And got the cue ball on the rail, kind of a soft safety, just something containing here from Carlo. Cross side bank, not on offer. So does he bring the 6 underneath the 9, go up behind the 8? Or is he playing it the opposite way, double banking the 6? A little bit of a look.
Yeah, a bit of a rough patch here.
Yeah, I mean, do you come and put the 6 out in space here just above the head string on the right and try and come 3 rails and just put him on the end rail and make him come with a shot?
Extension, cool.
He can see the 6, I believe anyways. You know what I mean? Left spin, come off the left side of the 6, kind of put it out. Oh, you don't want to put it, you know, put it up a little bit above the head string and swing the cue ball all the way down to the bottom. Is he going for the bank?
Yeah, he looks like he's gearing up. I don't think he's banking this.
He's going for the bank.
I didn't think to that pocket he would go.
He's going to get a roll maybe here. Maybe not. And really, I don't mind the shot overall from where he was.
This is the scrappiest rack we've seen, and so often, even in high quality matches, the disjointed staccato kind of racks psychologically are the most crucial.
Yeah, can you cross this, or can he just play it to the upper left and get some type of look on the 7? That's interesting to me. I thought he could cross it over behind the 8-9, kind of like you're chipping it to the top rail, and just bring the cue ball 1 rail back down.
Yeah, maybe double bank it, right?
That's
To
what
the-
I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, double bank it to the top rail and just bring the cue ball down.
He didn't shove the cue ball there. He really wanted to go much more forward. Now should be able to hold the 6 and get him behind the 8 and 9. This is pretty routine. He's come too tight. He's going to need a little bit of a roll, and he got it.
Yeah, I think Fedor overlooked one there, and he rarely does that. I understand what he was trying to do, but punching that cue ball all the way over when you're 3-railing that ball down to the 4th rail is a lot of work.
And how many in the entire event jump at this to cut it in versus the kick? That tells you that the difference physically and mentally with the jump cue for Fedor Gorst.
He's a long way away.
Yeah, he's may get away with this. May get away with this. Little things have changed.
One of those racks.
May have to shoot behind his back here, what the Filipinos will do from time to time. Edge the 6.
No, I don't mind that at all. It's worth going behind the back, and that's what he's looking at. You want to make sure to catch this then, though.
Well, he might go inside spin. He's got it a little too heavy.
Not only that, he's opened the 7 up to a good position. I think you've got to consider chopping at this at least. I know you do have the 8 and 9 you can use.
Yeah, I think he'll 2-rail the 6 to the bottom and just kind of use the 8 as much as he can. Maybe 1 rail at the 8.
Agreed, the 6 a little thin here.
Now, the slick table allows you to play that type of shot more to where you can hit a high ball and use a bit more of a hydraulic. May go for that bank back underneath him again.
Yeah, 6 real close to the bottom rail, though.
You don't have one there.
This is tricky.
Biado asked for his extension there, but he'd already taken it.
He could jelly behind the 9 right here. Oh, he got it thin, I think. This is going to sell out a shot unless it gets to that end rail. Not bad.
Yeah, I believe he's got a. Here's the 8 here. He likes to get nice and tight up and behind this 8, oftentimes.
And good control.
Very good. The wherewithal where the 9 was at as well. High percentage.
And I was about to say, I like the right side rail myself. Trying to kick underneath this. Could fluke it in the side, maybe get it up table.
Biado is the first to blink after that safety battle on the green 6. Is the resurgence of Gorch going to continue?
Yeah, I wish we had a percentage on these scrappy games for Gorst. How many of them he ends up winning overall throughout a tournament. And there you see 5 safety errors versus 3. JJ touched on that a little bit ago. It's obviously massive. It's like 5 turnovers in a basketball game, and it's really going to show up.
What a slam dunk this could be. 9-2 down. almost in disarray. His title defence teetering on the brink. Now, 2 balls from being only 9-8 adrift. He's not missing this.
Fedor Gorst, 70 plus.
What a champion, what a fighter. Simply refusing to relinquish this oh so prestigious and lucrative title. Carlo Biado was in total command. Now he leads by just a single rack. Will Carlo Biado go to the Philippines Open in late October as the world champion? Well, there must be big question marks now. What a tournament that promises to be. It is the inaugural event, 256 player field. The venue is the Gateway Mall in Quezon City. And that's just after the Reyes Cup, when Asia will take on the rest of the world. The Philippines is one of the great hotbeds of 9-ball pool, and I can't think of a more appropriate place to have a major World 9-ball Tour ranking event than there.
You talk about the Philippines. I believe it was 18 at the end of the entries here, JJ, for this event. Started out with 17, then they had a late entry. 18 players from the Philippines, Phil.
Yeah, 10 made the last 32, 7 made the last 16, 3 were into the quarterfinals, and
Rack 18.
Carlo Biado is
Fedor
now
Gorst to break. Trailing 9 racks to
representing
8.
them with distinction, although things aren't going well for him at this precise moment. Who would have thought when he was 9-2 adrift that Fedor Gorst would be breaking here to draw level?
Yeah, he's going to get a look again. It's not going to be easy. That 2 did get past the side. And those last 2 games, I believe, were dry breaks from Federer also, with Carlo having a chance in both to get the ball rolling, per se.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. The first dry break, the one went high. The second time, it went low, just low. Does he have to take this on? When Gorst is feeling good, Jeremy, you know as well as I do, this is really what you would call his bread and butter.
Yeah, he levels out from distance with the best of them. What he was thinking, I think, is I see my man right here in front of me struggling at the moment. Is there something tactical, a push out that maybe I can kind of further the game and see in battle and try and battle for that shot rather than taking on something that's like 70-30. I think he's a big favorite to make it around that price, 75-25. But I think he's supposed to go.
Well, I
Cool.
think he is considering. That's why he's taking the extension. Not only is it a difficult shot, but I think he's considering what you just touched on. But I don't see where he can go. If the push out is available down low, maybe. Nothing changes.
Carlo, it's your
now.
choice.
He just kind of gives that 70% to Biado, maybe? I mean, the 3's in a good position here. If I'm Biado, I'm going.
Well, I'm definitely not handing it back. I mean, if you see a safety you like, which there's a lot of gaps out there, so I don't know about that, I probably say, hey, let's buck up and make a shot. And you don't have to hum it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times these type of shots you think about, oh, let me give me a backdoor safety. If I miss it, put some speed. The pocket's a hair bigger and you can handle distance on the 3.
Is he chipping at this?
I think so, actually. No, he's shooting. Yeah, I didn't like the speed though.
Foul stroke.
I thought he'd
Ball in.
ripped it.
Yeah, I liked easing that one. Of course, hindsight's 20/20, and we did discuss it prior.
Please start the
That's
clock.
why Fedor Gorst is a world champion. Maybe he felt something within Biado that we didn't.
Well, I think it was, obvious to a lot of us, that yourself included, that Biado's having a bit of struggles at the moment. Now, the ad break is coming next if the score does get tied at 9.
Yes, there is no doubt even the most avid Biado fan would have to agree that he is deteriorating as Gorch is growing ever stronger.
I mean, we constantly talk about it with Gorst, and over last year, how many matches he was trailing, but it's never how you start, it's how you finish. But that seems to be the subject with the man at the table more often than not. And it also seems to be the best finisher in the world right now. Just avoid really the 9 here. Want to get past it.
You feel nice there. You can push through. You can draw. I'm sure it's going to be the follow stroke, but getting back to that 2-ball, sure would have liked to see Carlo just kind of smooth it in and take his chances from there. I think he hits it pretty well, to be fair.
Yeah, just take a little longer 3-ball.
Yeah, with the 4 near. I mean, I always thought he was going to take the shot once Gorst pushed out. I don't know if Gorst would have, though. I think Gorst may have chipped it. I really do. And why would you give the other man a chance to bury it unless you really are convinced he ain't making this ball at the moment?
Yeah, and I think the push out he led to gave him just a little better angle to chip it. Because you could sense that that's what he wanted to do initially.
You just got to maintain clean stroke there.
And notice the pace around the table, much different than last set. Actually, most confident pace, the shoulders, everything. Tells me a lot right now for Gorst. Shot clock once again is no coincidence. He's patterned his play behind that clock.
Is he considering moving for the side? He just went around and had a look at the 9 and the side. To me, that's surprising. I thought he could just follow out 2 cushions. Just get nice and straight on the 9, or somewhat anyways. I didn't expect that. I really, really didn't. I'm not saying it was wrong. I just didn't expect it.
When we talk about the less cue ball movement, the better, higher percentage most of the time. Gorch seems to go out of his way to the sides a lot on bigger pockets. I don't see it as much with him on the tighter pockets. So I have to agree with you, JJ.
The wall final remarkably has been reset. It is 9-9. It might as well be 9-9-9 because alarm bells are ringing for Carlo Biado.
Yes. We're back again. You know what to do. Make some noise. Come on. It's the final. Make some noise. There we go. Okay, we've got more t-shirts to give away, but we brought them a little bit closer to you because they didn't go that far last time. So we're going to start with this side. If you want to win a t-shirt, make some noise. No, that was not loud enough. Try again. 1, 2, 3, make some noise! Okay, fire that t-shirt, let's go! There we go. Love that. Okay, we're gonna come to this side. But you only get it if you're loud. 1, 2, 3, make some noise! He was happy with that. And he went a lot further. We're gonna do it one more time, but I want everyone in the arena to make some noise. 1, 2, 3, let's go! Whirlpool Championship Final, enjoy!
That is Iraq's Amir Ali, a quarter-finalist here. He played so well against Anton Raga, came close to beating Claudio Cacci in the last 8. He's won so many tournaments in this region. West Asian Championships, of course, Iraqi National Championships. And let's hope that he can get the necessary visas and play an international schedule, because with his cue action and with his potting abilities, I think he could go quite some way. And of course, Amir Ali is well acquainted with the comeback skills of Fedor Gorst. In last year's World Championship here, in the last 64, Ali led 7-0, but lost 11-9. So the story of this match, Gorch looked good at 2-0, but then he missed a 5-ball in the third rack, undercut it. That started a 9-rack run for Carlo Biado. 9-2 it was, more than halfway to the title. But since then, it's been all Gorch. 7 on the trot, and now he's trying to regain the lead.
9 racks each.
Oh, thought the cue ball was going to get a nasty kiss. The 2's going to kill somewhat. Don't think it's really anything but a bank offensively, so. Watch the cue ball kiss here. Looked like it was going dead in the side. Bam on the 2 ball. I was going to say, it looks like he may be able to get him. I don't know what he's doing here exactly, actually. Is he traveling all the way to the left rail? He's going to give him a gap. Oh, maybe not. Just a little bit. So now Carlo maybe has to really run the rock. We'll see if he can control this with that cue ball and the object ball.
I'm saying he's going to do it, but he's been known to kick at a ball like this. It's in a big ball position, but I think he can see it with the edge off the right side. You said it. The kick.
Yeah, you gotta go for length here, I think.
Extension call.
Yeah, the 3 might actually impede the right side. I was just saying I've seen him many times go for the right side when it's in a big ball position.
Man, this is what he's doing. And is that a hair sign of nerves also still, that you don't want to try and feather this? Okay, does the 2 play off the 6 and the side easily where he can draw over?
Yeah, it's a lower right is very difficult.
There you can see how the racks have gone. At one point, Biado was just sailing away. Forget that now. This has been distilled down into the best of 11
Extension
rack
call.
shootout.
Can he just butter up behind the 6 here softly?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a bare ball, right? And you do have a little distance from the cue ball to the 2. Really good. Really good. Can he cut off the left side rail? Can he get to that behind the 6 with spin, or has he got to come to the right side rail?
He can come to the right for sure.
I don't know. I would love to go to the left if I'm him, like this.
But he can see it then.
Yeah, you may get a little 9-ball action. The 9 may help you hold the 2 or the cue ball.
Could fluke the 9.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to come up. It's a little thin into the side, but playable.
This is almost like that situation way earlier, JJ, but a little different. I know he's not going to play the 9 here, but you mentioned tucking behind it earlier, where probably should have done that. He went for the 9, missed it completely. I believe sold out. This looks thin, like you said.
If you remember, though, that was a crazy game. Carlo made that long 4 ball. Kind of got on top of the 6. That's when they started to exchange some safeties and different things. And now, speaking of the 6, does it have the natural 2-rail angle, a hair cut off? Does he have to dip down on this a little bit with the right English? If that's the case, watch out. The scratch across in the upper right a little more available. Cut it thin. He's going to need some help. Oh, the 9. He's facing the 9. It doesn't sit terribly to kind of thump it in. I think it's pretty straight to the pocket.
He's eyeing it down, JJ.
Yeah, just because he doesn't really see a simple safety, I think. So to take the lead and really get the applause. Wow, big roll. I don't think he can chip this in the side. If he can chip it in the side, that's a different story.
I think he might just have it.
With a little right spin,
Yes.
play off the 6 to open up the cue ball.
Maybe the right's a little dangerous, but I think he can get to it.
Can't tell where he's really cueing the ball. He may just have to push straight through. I think he's going for the corner. He could. He could. What's the 6 gonna do though? So little things have changed. But it's gotta feel good. It's been the 2 ball that has really been the costly one for Carlo Biado in this match.
16th rack, he missed a very simple 2 ball. Most recent, he missed that lengthy 2 ball with the cue ball tucked under the short rail. Missed it by a mile. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and the only mistake early was a bank that he went for the first game on the 2 ball, I believe. All right, that's nice. Good from shorty, though.
Yeah, but you've touched on it, JJ. Really, you've just got to make this. You don't. You're not getting any distance, I don't believe. Or any separation.
Yeah, but I don't know about the feeling y'all get. Early when Carlo was doing his thing, these jumps were always close. He's always going to threaten it, but now I feel like he may bury it.
Well, he's definitely got a chance.
And cue ball.
Foul strike.
Exactly
Ball in
what
hand.
Carlo needed, a ball in hand. And, you know, you hate to say that about a world champion and a guy that's made his road through to this
Please stop.
final, but like they say in the pool room, when you're creased, you will slide a little bit, and ball in hand will help that.
Yeah, such a big ball to get over and be accurate. The green 6 can't fault him for jumping it, clearly.
No, for him, it's 100% the right shot going with the jump cue. And it is that best out of 11 from here, as Phil mentioned. So to get some table time and regain the lead, very, very big moments for Carlo Biado.
Yeah, just to knock a few balls in under relatively little stress, considering where they're located.
And I'll tell you, I mean, he played beautifully to get that, stretch out that 7-game lead, but the thing he hasn't got to do in a while is break the balls, and that's the thing that really opened up the door to get something commanding here in this final. As great as these two are, though, kind of feel like nothing's a given just yet.
Yeah, this is just a short race to 6 now.
Should come 2 cushions around the 8. draw stroke. I think, anyways. Say, is that enough?
He definitely makes it where it's missable.
You make this, though, it can go a long ways, right?
The pendulum of power in a pool match doesn't necessarily swing only one way. Maybe Biado is on the right track again. He's certainly in front at 10-9. The Filipino flag flying high again. Just a matter of whether he can keep his foot on the pedal now, or are we going to see a scenario where racks are traded up until a nail-biting conclusion. Biado trying to join a wondrous list of former Filipino champions in this event. Efren Reyes, the winner in 1999. Ronnie Alcano, 2006. Francisco Bustamante in 2010. And you might include Alex Pagulayan. He's got Filipino heritage, even though I think when he captured the title all those years ago, he was representing Canada.
Yeah, Michael McMullen and Carl Boys. I think JJ was in there. We were debating that. Maybe a 50-50 split.
Thank you, rack
representing
20.
the Philippines and
Carlo Biado to break,
Pagulayan won.
leading 10 racks to 9.
You're only allowed one at a time.
And he finished it off with a break and run, too. All right, he's got the one down. Where's the cue ball? The blue 2 is near. Don't see a pocket, though.
Cut off to the upper right. JJ?
I think both the upper right and, well, I mean, it may sneak by the upper right, but that's a tall task, I think, with other options.
Yeah, where the 3 is at doesn't make sense, does it?
Yeah, you know, we talk about it all the time. At the beginning of matches, you get these layouts that seem very doable, and that's sometimes somewhat routine for these great players. But as the matches go on, you feel like, or usually you get a lot of funny layouts. Look at the 3 where it's at, the 4-8's funny. And he didn't hit the rack badly at all. Only reason the cue ball's on the bottom rail is because he got kissed.
Well, this is definitely jumpable with control. Now it's up to Gorch. I think he takes it to the top right. I mean, a lot of good things can happen, even if he catches it a little short. The last thing you want to do is catch it too thin.
Yeah, and the thing is, not only the technology in the cues these days, but how good he is and others, that he's going to play the cue ball to the back rail, trying to pocket it like Scott said. And if he doesn't make it, at least try to get the cue ball in a hard position for Carlo. There's that thin hit you were talking about. And he bumped the 4 open. Wow. The jump cue hasn't been, you know, what we used to seeing from Fedor Gorst.
Yeah, and you talk about it, we talk about it. With the jump cue, a lot of great players will end up catching it thin. It's because the back arm comes out from underneath you and you kind of sideswipe the cue ball. Rarely see Gorst do that. I feel like he was fortunate not to scratch in the upper left, but might as well have the way this finished.
Don't take this one for granted. You can't afford that outer jaw here. Yeah, nice sweet stroke. And he really took care of a big issue with the 4 on that. He opened that 4. The 4-8 was funny. I think it was the 7 that was kind of on top of those as well. Now, does the 6 pass the 7, Scott? I know we're looking ahead a few shots. Because the 5's kind of covered up a little bit.
I kind of like what he did here, though. Stay nice and thin on the 4 so you can get close to the 5 in case it doesn't pass the lower right corner in the 7 ball, JJ.
Yeah, well, he hasn't even looked at the 6, so that tells me it is open. But otherwise, you're really thinking about how do I want to get on this 5-ball here, right?
We'll get nice and close.
So you have to work it all the way back down to the side? I don't know about y'all, but I'm a bit nervous for this match. It's
Well,
got my blood flowing.
Yeah, the way he's looking at it now, I think he already knew the 6 didn't pass the 7.
He's going to draw around the 8.
It looks like he's going to definitely bend back. I just don't know if he's coming past the 8 or not.
2 rails, drawing around. He likes that shot, drawing around the 8. Like that. Letting it open up. Yeah. Said at the beginning of the match, when it comes to those shots that don't come up very often, he is absolutely one of the best at seeing them, and then really fun to watch him execute.
What a classy effort that was.
But almost really sets up nicely for the situation because he gets to let the stroke out. It's not one of those in-betweens, little delicate.
There are many Filipinos in the crowd here, and you might have noticed after every ball that goes in now from Biado, you hear the word yes.
You know, a lot of Filipinos live here in Saudi, and a lot of pool players we've seen at the pool rooms, Filipino pool players here in Jeddah last year and in Riyadh when I watched the snooker event.
Carlo Biado wins the
Back-to-back
20th
jump
rack.
shots from the maestro have backfired. And that's why those guys are delighted. The Filipinos always turn up to support their own, and they're over the moon that Carlo Biado, after that fallow patch in the middle of the match, is now back 2 in front. He only needs 4 more to regain the World 9-ball title and to go home to the Philippines a hero. You know, if he does win this World Championship, what a good way to launch the Philippines Open in October if he plays the first match. That is Michael Boanan, another fine Filipino player.
Thank you, rack 21. Carlo Biado break, leading 11 racks to 9.
Well, the 2's going to get up table. How much of a cut? He'll shoot at this now. No matter, the blue 2 hasn't been the friendliest for him at times, but you got to believe he's feeling a little better about things now, regaining the lead, making some nice shots.
Well, if you have a little more pace on the break shot, the 9 was tracking directly to the right side to add insult to injury.
Yeah, he's plenty thin enough to come up and down right across the middle of the table, right over the racking end, and bouncing off this bottom cushion.
Yeah, I think all the focus really just goes into burying this ball. Cue ball's pretty natural up and down.
Is it enough, though? He may play the 9 or the 3 in the side. He's dressed up on both. Got to be the 3 in the side, right, Scott? I mean, everything goes.
Yeah, I don't even think the combo lays near as well as the 3 into the side.
Yeah, he just needs
Extension
10,
call.
12 inches of draw. Now, this one you don't want to stun. You want to go ahead and hit it sweet. That way you open up the pocket a little bit with the draw stroke. Did not expect that. May have gotten a huge roll. Snookered himself if he made it, I believe.
this is not with hindsight. These middle pockets are so tight. I thought there was just a slight possibility of him missing. I didn't think he would, but I couldn't quite discount the possibility.
Yeah, the three hit the middle of the ball, hit the point. That was a surprise to me. Maybe just took his eye off of it.
Well, this is tough.
Going behind the 7?
Yeah, he's got the 7 to tuck behind, but still got to make good contact over the 8 like this. He's going to leave it open. You can't expect to do much better than that from that position. Biado did get away with one there.
Yeah, big time. And you wonder if he's challenged with some type of shot, how much that'll weigh on him, that miss.
Yeah, very good point. If he can get through this rack, speaking of Gorst, it might affect him big time going forward, Biado.
This has got to go a little bit. This has got to go. He wants to cover up the jump, and he has. At least a portion of it. The make on the jump.
Yeah, I mean, this is triple tough to even jump at the 3 here, JJ.
Yeah, he's cut off a lot of ways, Scott.
8's a big ball too, huh?
Yeah, he doesn't have the bottom rail to go in with spin. I don't think he does anyways. He's going to jump to 6 with a hair of left, come to the bottom rail, I believe anyways, and try and kick up underneath this. Could go directly at a little portion of it with the jump cue, but
yeah, does the 3 in any way, shape, or form. I mean, he's going straight at it. Boy, the cue ball's going to crash maybe into the 4. It's that thin.
could knock the ball off the table. Yeah, he went for the kick, trying to create some luck. Now again, here's the shot I was talking about. After that miss in the side, this 3 is no cupcake when the nerves are high.
I like the decision here. I think you want to come to the right side of the 3 and maybe get some motion to the left side of the table.
Yeah, I think he was trying to maybe fluke one too.
Right.
All right, here you can handle a second bounce about a diamond out, so you don't have to baby it too much. Big shot.
Yeah, he's starting to get that finger going a little bit more. It's always a telltale sign.
Yeah, it's dancing, isn't it?
Yeah, none of us know we do it either. It's amazing, really. It's kind of just a subconscious. It's almost like when you're putting, how you never really tighten the grip until right before, then you apply a little pressure. It just keeps you loose is all.
Not clean. You could tell right away when the cue ball left the Q-tip that was going to be thin.
Yeah, and sometimes what happens is you recognize where the miss usually is, and when the nerves are high, that's usually the thick one there on that type of shot. So easy to adjust the aim. Let me open up the pocket a hair. All right, should just pull this up the rail a little bit. He's in close quarters, and he really is good at this shot. A little low right English. I don't think he should go back and forth myself, but we'll see.
No, I agree. He'll drag.
Well, only a major blunder will stop Carlo Biado going back 3 in front. This would be one of the worst misses in 9-ball pool history. Not going to happen. But it might happen for Carlo Biado. 3 is the number. 3 clear. 3 more required to be champion of the world again and delight his Filipino following. there's a pool party in Jeddah, and the guest of honor is Carlo Biado. The atmosphere here really ramping up as the Filipino star gets within 3 racks of becoming world champion in the 9-ball discipline for the 2nd time. Fedor Gorst hauled his way back from 9-2 down to 9-9. Now though, Jeremy Jones, he finds himself in deep trouble again.
Yeah, but he's just looking for a shot, I think. He's doing his normal thing on the ad break, taking his little walk, clearing his mind. If he can get to the breaking end, we know what he's capable of and what he's determined to do. So Carlo's got to continue.
22. Carlo Biado break.
No Gorst.
Leading 12 racks to 9.
Back's against the wall, so we cannot count him out.
He's got to win 6 of the remaining 8 racks.
One's down. He's been awesome in that regard. He just doesn't get the 2 all the way around like Gorch does on some of these breaks.
A lot to do with a lack of pace.
Yeah, I'll tell you, if he wasn't dead jacked up, he may take on the safety, but you hate to really get a miss hit because of that awkward cueing, so maybe the push out here?
Yeah, the safe behind the 8, like you said, elevated, might just chip the 2 to the right side towards the back of the 5 and 8.
That's what I like, to keep it simple. Lengthen the game as best you can. It may not end up being that good for you overall. This may be a little touchy.
No, that just got there. I was going to say that's a little weak. Looks kind of messy, but the 5 does play. Really, first person to the 2 wins. Most likely.
Is this a soft game? Oof, he almost really fluked it. What's the cue ball doing with the 7? Pays to hit him. And I don't know if Gorst can reach this jump. I saw Gorst in the hallway, and he mentioned to me, he said, just a real weird last 3 games.
Yeah, coming to the bottom rail here with a heavy left ball. Would love to tuck behind the 9, if not just chip it.
Yeah, it's a nice shot, really. Very good. He's looking at the jump cue. Wow. Guess he fancies his chances to make it in the upper right. And I just got to rewire my brain to how good these guys are with the jump cue compared to yesteryear with most of us mortals.
Hear the roar, giving Fedor Gorst a taste of his own medicine.
And Biado been nothing but a beast all week long.
Yeah, roar from the Black Tiger there on the blue 2. Landed on top of the 2 ball and found the gap up table. He's going to fall a little straight. Did bump the 6 a hair closer to the pocket, which may help things on the 5.
Yeah, because what you're saying here is he can go forward now.
Well, not only that, he, just in case he has to take a little distance on the 5 for some reason. Now, he's got an option if he gets on the 5. He may not shoot it. He may bang it around the table and plant him behind the 8.
Might be deceiving. He can come straight back.
Open it up. If he gets close quarters, he's going to attack, and as he should. He's really good. And make sure that tip doesn't come up here if you're going to come 2 cushions. You don't want to get over the 7 somehow, sneakily behind the 7. I've done this before, just kind of took it for granted, you know what I mean, Scott?
Yeah, he's got to beat the left side here. He did that. Well done. Just a swerve here. Might go towards the 9.
I like that myself. I mean, it's very hard to get snookered. I think it's the comfortable way to make the ball. You're never going to scratch, I don't think anyways. I think if you try to check it with inside, going up and down, something like that, could have problems.
Okay, this has landed funny maybe.
Is he going towards the side here?
I think he's just a little below the side. I don't know.
He's got to play short side on the 8 if he's going to play a level cue on the 7. He's just got to kind of make this and then take a deep breath and knock the 8 down the rail. Yeah, he caught it thick, so he's not going to get across. And sometimes you catch it thick because you are worried about that side pocket a little bit, right? If you happen to cut it a hair to the left side of the hole, maybe you get near a scratch. I think he'll probably attack the bank.
He could chip it thin to the center of the top rail there, back and forth with the cue ball and use the 9, but boy, in this position, you feel like to the left side pocket,
Extension call.
it's pretty big.
The juices are flowing. Everything seems to be going his way. Seize the moment, that's what I say.
You can also double bank the 2, JJ, towards the center diamond and tuck down below the 9. Excuse me, bank the 8 twice towards the center diamond and tuck down behind the 9.
He's trying to bank across corner, let it open up, and if he misses, it gets to the bottom rail, or the top rail, rather.
That's kind of what I'm saying, right? He's just going to use the 9 as a backup. Oh, he's just
Trying to make it. He's trying to make it.
Seize the moment.
And he made a big shot, very similar in the semifinal, that really got himself going.
They are loving it, and with every justification. Their man, Carlo Biado, has jumped into a 13-9 lead, just 2 more for 9-ball pool immortality to join Earl Strickland, Johnny Archer, Fong Pang Chow, Torsten Homan, Albin Auschen, and Fedor Gorst as a multiple world 9-ball champion. Terrific stuff.
Yeah, and they're having a great old time here, watching their countrymen carry on. How can you blame them? Look at that dance. I like it.
They're a really good bunch, the Filipinos. They love their pool, they love enjoying themselves, and tonight, the two have come together.
All right. Get it, Big White.
Well, sometimes in tournaments around the world, we have dance cam. That's not a dedicated dance cam, it's just that the Biado supporter can't contain himself, and after a bank on the 8 like that,
23.
who can blame him?
Carlo Biado to break, leading 13 racks to 9. Foul stroke, ball in hand.
Exact thing you don't want.
Well, exactly what the doctor ordered for Gorst at a timely manner.
And please start the
Didn't
clock.
really get a look at the layout yet, but he didn't make the 1, so he's got to run all 9, but they look very playable to me.
Yeah, got a big gap between the 8 and 9 here, JJ.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the 5 passes the 6. That's the one to me that looks like, you know, could be some type of issue because it certainly doesn't pass the 8.
3 does lead to the 4 quite well. He needs to come back for the 5. He doesn't want to fall straight here. He does not want to fall straight here. Did he actually get below the 2?
He may have gotten really odd. I think he's got a hint of an angle below, like you mentioned, Scott.
He got a little fortunate if that's the case. I didn't think he'd come all the way down.
Okay, he opened it up with some spin. Wasn't so sure that right English was on there, and this tells me the 5 does go. It just doesn't seem like he's super concerned unless he's going to draw back underneath the 5.
Yeah, the 3 leads real good to the pink, so he can come back. He just wants to maintain that correct angle. Don't want to get past the 4 here.
And he did, just a hair, but he can come on that other side of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
A little shake of the head there. He's not going to get his premium, but he's going to either have something in the side or a cut in the upper corner.
Maybe the adrenaline there carrying the cue ball a little bit, because he could have just really babied that ball so close to the side.
Yeah, and Gorst has dodged a couple scratches on the break during this match, but overall, he's going to bump this ball, looks like maybe. And he's bumped it. This is no hanger combination. He's got to consider speed to hold the 5 and the cue ball. But Carlo's only had one mistake on the break that really you could say was his fault or his mistake, and that was this one here. A lot going on with this shot. Of course, the onus on making the combination and moving on from there, but got the 8 to think about a little bit. Doesn't really know exactly where the 5's going to fall. I mean, I like his chances of making it, but
Great speed. Now, throw caution to the wind. You do not want to land straight on this 7. Carry some type of an angle. And that's where you want to be on that line where he just laid his Q-tip.
and get that second bounce here, or that bounce off that second rail. Very good.
Gorch can't afford any slip-ups. Does that, his opponent's on the hill.
A little bit of heart to come down past the line there. Really all started out, JJ, from scratch on the break. Of course, needed that dearly.
It is a dangerous occupation to write off Fedor Gorst. So many comebacks in capturing this title last year. I think this would be the biggest of the lot, though, considering the quality of the opposition. And so the final continues, 13-10. Gorst now into double figures. It's been such a wonderful tournament. I think it's entirely appropriate we've had this kind of final.
And here you go. Breaking win rack percentage, 85% to 80%. What sticks out? 67% on the long pot success versus Biado's 100%. That is big.
I think it all depends on what you call a long pot. Of course, he missed that 2 by a mile from with the cue ball under the short rail. So for me, that would be a long pot missed.
7 safety errors versus 4.
Yeah, Gorch has cleaned that up, though. Those safety errors came early after he had that 2-0
racks
lead.
to 10.
5 of those, I mean, anyways. Well, you're going to see a little different break. You think Carlo's, of course. Fedor's always broke well, but he's even gotten better because he can hit him a bit harder, still getting the 1 down.
Struggled at times this match with the 1.
Got it thin or got a kiss. I couldn't tell which.
I think it was thin.
A little off angle on the bank for one of the best bankers in the game, and it was certainly thin, Scott. It's not bad, the bank shot cross side. A little jacked up, but I really don't think it's terrible. I think you kind of, I don't know if you can really get the 7s impeding that position you want.
2-time bank pool winner at the Derby City Classic. There's no question.
So you're putting them up behind the 8. No, just behind the 7. Just enough speed. Probably the jump cue. He's got to go a long ways over, but there's not a lot of kick options. Not a ton.
This match has gone one way then the other. But who will possess the momentum when it matters most?
He's cueing straight at this like he's not snookered, and he isn't.
I bank this at the 9. Watch out now. Okay, got the cue ball rested on the rail, but with the 9 ball up near that upper right corner, easy to leave a little kiss shot there if everything isn't executed perfectly. I think the 2s froze along with the cue ball, real close to the rails with each.
Extension call.
Boy, there's nothing I like here, Scott.
He is good in these situations, but this is about as tough as it gets. Dead head on, both balls nearly frozen. Not a lot of cover either. Hard to get away from the 2. Looks like he's using power. He's going at the 9.
Not a shot.
2-9. All isn't fine for Fedor Gorst, but at least it's a lot better than it was 15 minutes or so ago. 13-11 the scoreline. This is turning into one classic final, and what a classic shot to pull one back.
Philly arced the cue ball into the 9 there.
Yeah, classy shot. It could be a very important one. Once again, the gap narrows to 2. He continues to dance, but it was Fedor Gorst who made the balls dance in the 24th rack. What a beautiful kiss shot that was. 2 onto the 9, in it went, and now he gets to break off in rack 25. 25 of a possible 29. And the more this goes on, the more you think, much like last year, it could go all the way.
There's a good look at the 1 wired up to the right side, but JJ, the 2 behind the 9 and the 3.
Yeah, Scott, you know when it's near a pocket, the push out becomes more difficult, especially things fairly open. Tell you, I don't know. I don't think it's
Push out
been
call.
mentioned, but we have one player spectator that's pretty happy. Robert Capito is going to take that 10K.
A very salient point. Congratulations to the man from Hong Kong, former UK Open champion, who again banks a 5-figure check.
Yeah, now does he leave the cue ball on the rail here as he pushes out to the left? If he leaves it on the rail, I kind of feel like he gets it back.
Yeah, there's one guy I would be concerned about leaving a thin chop to. It's the guy he's playing.
Yeah, I think he's got to take away the chop, maybe.
Okay.
So see
Carlo, it's
how
your
he
choice.
purposely didn't leave himself on the rail to get it back in a bad situation. So
Agreed. Most importantly, get it over enough.
do you feel good about bringing it up the rail a little bit and bleeding the cue ball behind the brown 7? Maybe using the 3 a little as well.
If Fedor is world class at that shot, one of the best, or if not the best, in my opinion. I'm not as familiar with Carlo in that department with the drag. I'm sure he is right there with Gorst.
Yeah, I don't think he has to drag it. That's a choice. I think he can roll it with a little right, but man. The good thing is the 8 and 5 really cover up the cross corner bank,
Fedor,
just in
please
case
play
it
again.
does open up a little bit.
He's giving it back.
I think that. Go ahead, Scott. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
That's why Gorst kept the cue ball off the table. You think what, JJ?
I think it is a hair cuttable, to be honest with you. Just a hair. I mean, I don't think it's you know, like way out of line.
Cue ball would be hot if he were to cut it.
I think
He's playing the chip shot up, trying to snug behind the 7.
Yeah, he caught it a little fat, it looked like. But he used the 3 like I was talking about. Do you feel like maybe you have 2 balls? And, you know, it's hard to argue either way there, right? Because you're rarely going to get a ball in hand behind it. You're going to leave a pretty good kick shot, maybe even a cut.
I'll tell you what, though, you actually hit it quite well. It's much more difficult than it looks to control the speed of both of those balls because you're aiming at such a fine point of the object ball there.
Yeah, not that hard to bring the cue ball back near the 8 on this kick shot, by the way, with a little draw. Yeah,
Good
like
call.
that.
Oof.
Well, here again, the jump cue hasn't been, you know, as magnificent as it usually is for Fedor Gorst, but he can make it all up with one here.
Well, this one seems like
Extension
a
call.
little more pace. He's had a few, credit to Biado, where he's snugged him up well, where all he could really do is make contact and hope for the pocket. Here, he can get a little pace on it, maybe be a bit more accurate.
Yeah,
Biado.
I'm sorry.
Biado's hoping for a replay of the 20th rack when a jump from Gorst on the 2 misfired.
Yeah, to me, I kind of felt like that was the type of jump. What a roll here. Wow. That was the type of jump you would practice a little more, like if you're, you know, gearing up, you know. Last year before the U.S. Open final with SVB, I watched Gorch practice, and his last 15 or 20 minutes was all jump shots, every last one of them.
Well, that was a luck shot. What a roll. What a roll to get in behind the 8 ball there.
Well, if he hits this, he could make it.
Foul stroke. Ball
Went
in.
a little lighter speed than I thought, and the reason why he did that, he felt like with those 2 balls
Please
there,
stop
he
the clock.
could get some kind of backdoor safety.
Yeah, but that lighter speed also caused the cue ball to drop down quite a bit.
Yeah, I felt like he would go at it a bit more. Because even on a heavier speed, if you hit it thick, the 2 may bank around the 5-8.
And we can't forget last year, 14-14, Gorst and Kachi. Are we knocking on the door of something similar?
Yeah, and a race to 15 you kind of expected, but there were huge swings in that set as well. Pretty big roll with the jump cue here after a pretty nice kick shot from Carlo Biado. Knocked that 2 around, ending up underneath the 5 and 8. But that's 9-ball pool.
The Fedor cheering section now in good voice.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a competition building outside of the table arena. He's got 2 options here. He can go forward or come out 1 rail. I think going forward for someone like myself, I feel a little more secure. He's going to come out 1 rail, and that's probably why I'm sitting right here. Actually, good signs for Gorst right there. It's clean and tight. He got to the 8.
Gorst hasn't been at his devastating best in this final. But what heart, what a resolute player he is. What a competitor.
Fedor Gorst wins the
Well, stoic, equal success. He's loving that. From 13-9 down, it's now 13-12. And for the 2nd year in succession, could the World 9-Ball Championship final go hill-hill?
Yeah, well, they're both responding, so it's all about opportunity, I think.
Last couple of finals on the World 9-Ball Tour in major events have been runaways. We knew that was not going to continue. This is the routine 9-ball that took Gorch within 1. Champions are made of the right stuff, and one of the reasons they do so well, their burning desire to be the best. That desire courses through the veins of Fedor Gorst. That's why he won in such unlikely circumstances last year, and that's why he's trying to overcome at his lowest ebb what was a 9-2 deficit this evening.
Rack 26, Fedor Gorst to break, trading 13 racks to 12.
Does the 3 spoil the parade?
Might have a cross corner bank that he can avoid the kiss. I believe if the kiss is he is able to dodge it, I think he does shoot at it. Or can he see enough to maybe knock the 2 around and plant him around the 3? All right, he's sizing up the kiss, and the more I look at it, I think he can avoid it. May require some right spin.
Well, the good thing about that shot, JJ, is it's kind of a two-way, right? If he hits it thin enough to avoid the kiss. I don't know. It just seems a little
Extension call.
I think he's got to kind of smooth it to let the right English really take with the cue ball off the bottom rail to avoid the kiss. I think if he tries to put speed, maybe get separation, he may nip the 2 on the back side with the cue ball.
Well, I believe he's going at it.
As he should.
Oh, it lays nicely. And it's in.
And he smooths it nicely. A little elevated. That's a little unlucky, but now can he reach it enough to hit down on this? I think that's what he would like to do.
Yeah, and you talk about a little brutal. I mean, this changes things being elevated over the pink. And look at how stretched he is with the leg up. I know this is how he likes to get, so that tells me he's going to punch around and be more accurate.
Is he going to get on top of it? It's close quarters. I think it's going to be just fine.
Turned out perfect.
What a time to break and run, to get back onto level terms and reduce this best of 29 rack match to best of 3. No reason why he can't do it.
Yeah, and remember the one mistake on the breaking end for Carlo in this match, the scratch at 13-9, I believe it was. Should come somewhat down the center of the table. Wants an angle on the green 6. He played inside, trying to get inside of the ball. I was a little surprised by that. Thought he'd play from above, but of course he's at the table.
Talk about it all the time. Gorch just seems to find a way to get it done. He's trailed and trailed. About to tie this back up.
Does he pinch this or does he stun across and use 2 cushions? You know, high ball, I guess. Could get a little longer away from the 8.
That's the benefit of utter confidence in your own ability. But these have been rattled.
Showing a ton of heart. Can you believe this? A race to 2?
It is a script you could not write. Fedor Gorst responding for a second time. 13-13. It most certainly isn't unlucky for everyone watching. But what a pressure cauldron out there for the two players. And now, Gorch is back favourite because he's breaking in rack 27.
Yeah, and JJ touches on it all the time, the power that he has. His break is really where he stands out. JJ touched on that. You touched on this, Jeremy. Carl touched on this yesterday, I believe. Biado hits him a little lighter in the two finishes up top. Sometimes a little bit less power causes that mishap or bad look on the two versus what Gorst does.
Yeah, and the two is randomly racked on the corners or in the back. So, I mean, you know, that's why sometimes it doesn't hurt Carlo, but I mean, two also gets kisses in those positions. But yeah, you just get better spreads. You make a few extra balls here and there, and it seems like the two comes
Fedor
loose.
Gorst to break.
More
Scores a
often
tie,
for Fedor
13
Gorst.
racks each.
Good thing, you know, and the impressive thing about both these guys not backing down. The one has been on a beeline to that right middle here the last half of the match. And as soon as I open that trap, here you go, Carlo Biado. Here's your chance. It is a combination, maybe even a cross-side bank. The five's in the way of that. Is it is it a billiard on the six, Scott?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Kiss shot off the edge of the one to make the six, dropping the one in position for the lower right corner.
And take a look at Gorst, a bit stunned, but I think the kiss shot's on with natural position.
Yeah, this is definitely a little a la Efren Reyes, these types of shots. You don't have to baby it too much. You're not going to lose the one. It doesn't appear anyways. And at the moment, you know, with the nerve so high, that may be as a comfortable a shot for him to start with as something that's out in the middle that he's got to kind of move the ball or make something long.
Yeah, really good, too, to get the one out and over to where he can just play the two in the same corner.
Yeah, just draw over, I think, between. Caught it a little bit heavy, but okay. He's got a gap between the 8 and 9. He doesn't have to get perfect on the 3 to stay below. Just don't do anything silly thinking you got to be on the bottom end for the 4 later on here in a couple shots. Yeah, like here. If you need to come up between the 8 and 9, that's okay. Just find your speed. You can pull it up the rail to kind of widen the angle. Call it broadening the angle, actually, where the speed control doesn't have to be as good. Which to me, I kind of like that myself. Like, you know what I mean? A little stun with a hair right. Just get out in the middle of the table. You shoot the 4, come around the 9 for the 5.
Extension call.
Don't have to be delicate here.
Just wonder, is this retribution from the pool gods? Last year, Gorch 14-13 behind, rack 28. Declan Catchy broke dry.
Yeah, this guy, one of the best in the industry. At this right here, the pullback, straight look.
Yeah, kind of felt at one point when Gorst made that comeback. It was almost like Ali get you in the ropes, and Carlo looked a little rough for a moment, but he made a few big shots.
He's been in this situation so many times, right, Jay?
Yeah, for sure. Should get these 3 and a chance to break and win. That's all you can ask for, especially playing Fedor Gorst.
4 World Championship, 7 final finishes. Now 3 World Championship final finishes.
Carlo Biado wins the 27th rack.
Carlo Biado one rack away from glory.
We are carrying
And the
on.
dancer
We're desperate for the toilet. We are carrying on.
is showing his moves. This is a final that has disappointed no one. Can Fedor Gorst complete a carbon copy of last year and win the last 2 racks to snatch the verdict, or will it be Biado's evening? And let's not remember, or let's not forget, I should say, what happened in the semi-finals earlier today. It seems like an age ago. Carlo Biado completed victory over Bernie Regulario with a golden break. A golden break that was called by Jeremy Jones. He couldn't do it again, could he? Surely.
Yeah, well, not really feeling it here. I kind of feel like something's going to give Federer a chance. I don't know if he'll give us that heel or not. But
It's so exciting, this. You can't wait for the referee to rack the balls and get things underway. Everyone on the edge of their seats.
Yeah, it's just rare that you get a break and run in these situations, especially with Gorst right on Biado's tail.
Very different scenario to when he won the world title for the first time.
Thank you,
That
rack
was a
28.
stroll. He beat Roland
Carlo
Garcia
Biado break.
13-5. This
On the hill, leading 14 racks to 13.
is one gigantic battle.
he's got the 1 down, the 2 is dressed up. What's the 3 and 5 going to do? They're going to get funny, as they should and as they always do, it seems like.
I don't think it's terrible, JJ.
No, it's certainly not. But for the shot on the 2, I mean, he's a little thin and stretched on the 2. So the 2's pretty near the cushion. So, but the thing is, he's wanting more of the middle of the table to shoot the combination.
Right.
Now, how much movement would he get off that combination? Of course, the 8's there, so probably going to have to play it with a little bit of speed, or else the 8 may cover up the 3 if he gets to that position after the combo.
Yeah, I think center table's great. I don't think the combination lays too bad. Actually, the stretch here is probably tougher than the combination.
May shoot it from a little more distance, though, considering the stretch. Like here, you know what I mean? Just a little more. Now, this is what I mean is the 3 going to come back off and kiss the cue ball, or the 8 maybe blocks the pocket?
Well, a lot of guys will play that kiss and just follow this.
Yeah, but I know he wants to cue downward a little bit, kind of pinch it. Loves that type of shot.
Of course, he's a
Extension call.
type of player that loves to cue down on the ball, and you don't want to give it any hesitation in the back arm, so that's most likely what's going to happen, Jeremy.
Yeah, and he's got a little bit of a cut, so that just a little bit. So that tells me we'll see how he hits it. If he makes it cleanly, I think the 3 escapes easily. And he got that.
Might have to come all the way around now.
100% he does. There is no doubt, and he would love to have a hair more angle to do so. He's going to have to thump this going 3 rails between the 7-9. Or maybe underneath the 7, 3 rails, you think? Wrap it out of the lower left corner off the right side rail?
Could open up on him and scratch in the top right that way. I wouldn't mind coming between the 7 and 9 here.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Now it's going to fall here underneath this, but it's going to be okay.
Nearly perfect.
Yeah, now he's still got a decision. Do I draw by the 9? Probably. There's enough angle there.
But the writing is starting to appear on the wall.
And, you know, I was on the fence in this, what is it, 28th game. He's going forward, so is he playing from the center of the table? He's got to slow down a little bit. This has got to slow down a little bit. Yeah.
Knowing you're going into the 9, that's pretty confident.
Well, I'm glad he knew it, because I didn't. But what I was getting at is I felt like Carlo has played well enough to get a chance, but I felt like Federer's shown so much heart. He deserved a chance to maybe make it hill.
There is no question of the heart
The heart will be pounding, the palms will be sweaty. He's potted so many balls this week, he's beaten so many top-line opponents, he's had a really tough draw, and he's not wilted.
Yeah, this isn't over.
Biado's been a beast all week.
And what a nice out he's made here.
Congratulations, Carlo Biado, brilliant. Up on the table, as Fedor Gorst was last year. The history man Gorch has been victimised by history this evening, because the man creating the records here in Jeddah, Carlo Biado. The pool mad nation of the Philippines will be overjoyed by what's just occurred. What heart from the man they call the Black Tiger. He's certainly in the black now because he's better off to the tune of $250,000 US. Of course, it's the biggest check of Biado's life. And boy, after staving off the World 9-Ball Tour #1, not once but twice, Carlo Biado deserves every last penny. It's just sinking in now what he's done. He's beaten the best in the business, last year's US Open, World 9-Ball champion and World Masters champion. But tonight, Fedor Gorst was second best to Carlo Biado, the man who started playing pool in the evenings after caddying in the day as a 13-year-old. What a journey he's made. Now, to the pinnacle of a sport that he plays simply beautifully. Smiles all round in the green halls, and the most joy in Jeddah is being experienced by Carlo Biado. I'm so pleased for him. He's put his heart and soul into this effort, and in the end, he's come good. Fedor Gorst is down there on the floor. He was the first to congratulate Carlo Biado, and now he's chatting with our own Carl boys.
Yeah, I'm here with Fedor Gorst. First of all, Fedor, I know this is not the chat that you want, but before I start, you have got some bottle. Tell me how you're feeling right now.
Well, you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Today was not my day. You know, I was trying my best. You know, I gave all I had. Felt like every time I was coming back, I was breaking dry. But first of all, I want to say congrats to Carlo. I know how hard you guys are working. Congrats to you, your family. Carlo was simply too good for me tonight. Yeah, enjoy your night, brother. It's your day today.
What was you thinking at 9-2 down? Obviously, you've battled for 6 days. You've played some phenomenal pool, and you just sat there as a spectator, trying to explain to everyone in the arena at home what it's like being a pool player when you just maybe got the best seat in the house watching your opponent.
Yeah, I was thinking, well, when is this guy's gonna miss? You know, but no, I was still thinking that I have a chance. You know, it's a long race. Same way Kachi came back at me last year. You know. Just never give up, and you always have a chance to bounce back.
What is it about you, Fedor? Obviously, it's like they've got to scrape you off the table. What is that? What have you got in your head? What's the difference between you and us normal pool players?
Well, I just never give up. I'm never gonna lose, you know, by just giving up. I'm always trying to fight, but yeah, I guess that's the only difference.
Fedor, listen, congratulations. Very, very valiant effort in defending your trophy. Well done, buddy. You should be very proud. Fedor Gorst, everybody, your runner-up. The Black Tiger, Carlo Biado. First of all, congratulations. You're a 2-time world champion.
Tell me how you're feeling.
Well, I'm very happy and shaking. You know, my opponent is he's a monster. It's tough to beat, but I like this game. You know, I like this kind of game. Fight back. I like fighting.
You were 9-2 up, and then obviously Fedor's come back at you. What were you thinking at 9 apiece? You went into the break. Looked like you were struggling a little bit straight away. What was going on in the mind?
Well, yeah, I'm struggling in my break, and also I don't want to give him back the break because his break is monster. So I need to be careful on that. So, but that's part of the game. Anybody can happen.
You're the first two-time world champion from the Philippines. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot, and also I'm happy, and also to all the Filipino here, I'm very thankful that they here to support me. Also the Marboys team, Boss JR, yeah. I love this kind of event, you know.
Yeah, the Filipinos, no matter where you go, all over the world, they come out to support you. Have you got a message for the people here and back home?
Can I talk in Philippines? Thank you sa lahat ng Pilipino. Mabuhay tayo lahat. And also to the audience here, I'm thankful that a lot of people watching here. I'm so thankful. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your world champion, now a two-time world pool champion, the Black Tiger, Carlo Biado.
Ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible final we've witnessed here tonight in Jeddah. 128 players walked in and one walks away, etched into the history books as the 2025 World Pool Champion. Before we crown our champion, we take a moment to honor the next generation of talent. Please welcome to the stage the chairman of the Saudi Billiards and Snooker Federation, Mr. Naif Al-Jahani, who will now present the trophy to Albert Januata, the winner of the Saudi Junior Championships. Now to our runner-up this evening, a phenomenal performance all week long and a worthy finalist. To present Fedor Gorst with the World Pool Championship runner-up medal, please welcome the CEO of Matchroom Multisport, Emily Fraser. To present the runner-up trophy, please welcome the Deputy Minister of Sport Events, Mr. Khalid Al-Mawad. And now it's time to honor your 2025 World Pool Champion. Carlo Biado has conquered the toughest field in 9-ball, battled through every round, and delivered a sensational performance here in tonight's final. To present the Champions Medal, Emily Fraser, CEO of Matchroom Multisport. And finally, to present the World Pool Championship trophy, please welcome His Excellency, the Vice Minister of Sport, Mr. Bade Al Ghadi.